Right. Well, even if you change companies, it's still a problem if they're lying to people. Okay, why don't you hang on for a sec? I want to make sure we have his contact information. I think you do because you called him. Let's call the company and just ask him flat out and get his community. And if anyone else has come up against this or something similar, this is American Waste and Disposal. I watch Waste Management. They seem to do it the right way. I mean, I think they're doing it the right way. When they pick up recyclables, they're picking up recyclables, and then they come by and pick up trash. Do you ever watch them put it in the same one? Now, I heard there were some techniques with trash companies where they can pick up everything in one truck, and it's separated at the plant where they have conveyor belts and somehow divide everything. Is that a lie, or is that within the recyclables themselves? I don't really know much about the industry. I know a lot of people want to recycle. I know when I have stuff, it pains me to take good cardboard and plastic and just throw it away. I mean, it really does. But I don't know. So have you run across this? Dave, you need to get me some video. Ask him, really, get me some video on your phone or something, please. 303-713-TALK. Sam, what's this emergency leave that you want?
So, no, it's for my wife.
That's what I mean. What is it?
Yeah, the federal emergency medical leave where you're allowed to...
Well, I know there's a medical leave. I didn't know it was called emergency.
Yeah, I guess it's the FEML leave. I think it's in Florida. I'm down here in Florida.
25. What part of Florida?
Palm Coast near Daytona.
Okay, it's 5, I believe. And by the way, I know I have family in that area.
Okay.
So it is, I believe, 25 employees or more, though.
Yes. It's a dealership. It is a Ford dealership.
And what do they say when she says she wants to take? What is the leave for?
Well, she went back on leave for maternity back in March. We had our first child, and she took short-term disability through AFLAC, and she took her medical leave through work. It was up to 12 weeks. Her doctor cleared her to go back to work, and now her job is kind of just dilly-daddling and saying, you can come back next week, and we're coming up on the end of the 12 weeks.
You're complaining. Wait a minute. Are you complaining that they're not letting her come back?
Yes.
Oh, yes. That's a major faux pas on their part.
Yeah, yes. That's what she just spoke to, her dad also works there, and she spoke to her boss this morning, and the GM saying, well, if she's not going to be there that long, I don't want to bring her back.
What does that mean? What does that mean, not be there that long?
Well, she just got her master's in a different degree, and she was going back until she found another job. So she's not going to be back there permanently.
That's an interesting question. Did you say she found another job?
She's looking for another job.
Oh, and this guy knows it?
I don't know if he knows it, but they know she was taking masters. She was taking online school, and this was not going to be her
I'm just wondering,
profession.
though, I don't think that maternity leave, I don't think you have the I don't know if I know you have to pay it or you have to recognize it, but I'm not sure they have to take her back under all circumstances. I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to try to... Okay. We're going to get
AFLAC saying if she doesn't go back to work, they're going to back charge us all the short-term disability that they gave us.
Because she truly wasn't on disability.
Well, they considered a C-section disability, short-term disability.
No, I understand that. Then why would AFLAC want the money back? Because your employer didn't recognize it?
Yes, because she's not going back to work.
That's weird. We have an attorney who knows employment law.
Okay.
He's not available right now? Okay. We need to figure something. Try John Davis. He might know. I'm telling Suzanne. Hold on, okay, man? We're going to try to get somebody. This is federal law, so really we can give you an answer even though you're in Florida. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Ken, what's going on with you? Pam somehow got disconnected. I'm really sorry. I might have done that. Pam, if you're listening, please call back. 303-713-TALK. And, of course, everyone, you can call 303-MARTINO 24/7, and it'll come here to the show when we're on. Ken, what's your roofing issue?
We had hired a person to roof 5 units that my father had left us. He had passed away.
Now, was this an insurance job?
Yes.
Okay, and did they knock on your door?
No.
How'd you find the roofer?
The roofer was, well, he actually done some roofing for my sister, and she recommended him, so we went ahead and trusted him to do these 5 units. And
okay, why don't you hold on? We have a roofer with us today, by the way. The only one we have up north, which is really good to know, so we'll talk to him about this too. We have more right after this.
This report is sponsored by Westera Credit Union.
On the north end of town, the 2 left lanes are blocked there. Southbound I-25 approaching 84. Due to a 2-car crash being cleared right now. Watch out for backups on that stretch. Also, another crash on the southbound side of I-225. This is after Parker Road. That's got traffic backed up past Alameda at this time. The rest of the drive, well, you're seeing the typical delays. Westbound I-70 slow the elevated portion. And 270 westbound stop and go approaching Vasquez. The weather forecast. Showers likely throughout the rest of today with a high near 50. Tonight, a slight chance of showers early, then clearing out overnight. A low around 37. Right now, overcast and 43. Your traffic and weather. I'm Pete Wagner. 630 K-How.
8 Denver teachers started a credit union 85 years ago. Not for profit, but for the people, to help save for what's important to them. Today, that credit union is Westera, where everyone in the Denver area can join. And being there for you is what matters.
You're welcome.
Joseph A. Lazare is a criminal defense attorney. And yes, we have used him when people we know are in trouble. We recommend him directly. Joe Lazare. Unfortunately, there are people who try to figure out how much they can drink and drive. And that's the wrong thing to do. I mean, really, if you want to do that, buy a professional breathalyzer. But if you're in trouble, and we've had people call the show on shoplifting too, or neighbor versus neighbor, and somebody's charged with an assault. Not everyone charged with crime is a hardened criminal. Joseph A. Lazare, he's an attorney at law at your disposal. Please take the name down if you ever need him. You can trust him. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. His website is lazaralegal.com. That's 2 Z's and 1 R. lazaralegal.com. That's 303-429-6200.
You can always count on Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
Hi, how's it going?
Always crisp, always easy drinking, always just right.
Did we meet last time, Dan?
Balance of flavor.
I'm Suzanne. Nice to meet you.
Since 1903.
Hi, Suzanne.
Hey, how are you? The employment attorneys aren't available. Do you want me to take his number and get him on a different day?
Yeah, 2019 Miller Brewing.
Who?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly.
Centeno Schultz for Living Stem Cell Therapy. Dr. Chris Centeno, you've heard me say this, is what I consider like the father of stem cell therapy. He's the one that actually brought it to a clinical setting for humans after finding about all the success they were having with animals, really, and that was many, many years ago. Now he does it for people, obviously, throughout the world. He has Regenex clinics and also Centeno Schultz right here in Colorado with 2 locations, in DTC and up north in Broomfield. All you have to do is call 303-963-9201. I urge you to avoid chiropractors who are using amniotic fluid and umbilical cord blood. There are no living stem cells in those fluids when shipped to their offices. Go to a seminar, find out more, or get an evaluation. TheStemCellExperts.com. TheStemCellExperts.com. 303.
Gone before. Like the sun on your face.
Josh, I sit down. Do you need anything? Okay, it's all settled, all is well. Okay, great. Let me know. I'm behind the glass if you need anything. Just wave me down.
Oh,
But I can't.
I was going to
He's
have
the
to
button for
check. I thought they said, oh yeah, it might be right now.
Yeah, I just got the one button, so you hit on when you're talking, off when you're not, so you go directly in. You know something, just, look at Tom, so he kind of knows you're
I gave her, I'm sorry, Dad.
No, that's okay. It was a crazy.
It's the cashier's last check.
Okay, but I'm picking something up at your, at the landmark from you.
Yeah, well, there's
Okay,
some.
are you sure if I like approach it, I don't see,
And then you
what
drop
do I
that
do
little
this
bump.
with this line title?
It's a
Okay.
cashier's check.
And then let, all right, great.
It's fine, you're right. No, just this one here. You still see. My God in heaven.
I wish that was being recorded, Tom. 4949, I asked.
Hold on, here it is.
You're actually a attorney.
Sweet 200. It's right, and literally, it's 3 minutes from now.
It's very much a college town.
Yeah.
So,
and see how much you can save at MyInsurance.com. That's PIE insurance.com.
You bet, Lee, that's a big deal. That's like,
Let's go. You know what? Thank you, sir.
But I was telling them.
Oh, you want me to tell her that? Okay, we're back. Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Is my mic now on, right? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, Sam with the emergency leave or the federal leave, he's out of Florida. Sam, we are going to get an attorney to address that. If not this show, Suzanne has it lined up for another hour. Now, Ken, the roofing problem, we just happen to have Josh with us. Josh is with Sprague Roofing and Exteriors. Are you out of Fort Collins or Loveland?
We're based out of Fort Collins.
Out of Fort Collins. And Deputy Dan, you told me we don't have a lot of roofers up there. So
no, we don't.
It's good to have a good roofing.
And they come down to how far, Josh?
We tend to serve around the Longmont area, as far south as Longmont, as far east as Estes Park.
Oh, wow. That's good.
North into Cheyenne, Laramie, Wyoming, and then...
Now, Ken says that he's having a problem. We haven't gotten to the actual problem, but it was a small commercial job, right, Ken? 6 units?
Yes.
What happened?
5 units.
Oh, 5 units. What happened?
Well, the guy we hired, he had done the work.
And what's the name of the place?
APT. Let me look it up.
It's okay. APT.
Storm repair.
Okay, so what's going on with them?
Well, what happened is he did the work. I asked him for the copy of all the work he'd done. He never provided it to me. I had to go through the insurance to get the claim numbers. There's 2 different units. There's a 3-plex and a 2-plex.
What is your concern?
My concern is the insurance had already paid him close to $40,000 to do 53 yards, and he keeps adding stuff on and charging interest, and he does not want to settle, and he keeps going up, and now he wants like $60,000-$70,000 more.
Here's what I want to ask you, okay? How much were you paid total by insurance? You.
30. We were paid like 39. Whatever we was paid, we gave to him.
Okay, how much?
It was the total was I figured out was $39,306.
Okay, that's fine. And you paid him every bit of that.
Yes.
Okay, and he's putting in supplemental claims?
Yes, and he's putting a lien on our property.
Wait, how much in supplemental claims?
And what's a supplemental claim?
Ken, in addition to the original bid of $39,306 that you gave him, how much more does he want? How much more does he want?
I'm understanding he wants like $70,000 more.
Wait. What did he bid the job for?
I don't know what was the job.
Ken, do you have a contract, bro? Do you guys have a contract? You had him do 5 units. What does the contract say he's going to charge for that job?
I don't know where it's at on this contract.
Okay, you have no idea. No, but you have no idea. So if he wanted to charge $200,000, you couldn't say to him, "Oh, by the way, your contract says $40,000." You know, if he wanted to charge you $150,000, what would you use as your barometer for what he should charge you?
$20,000. That's what the insurance originally.
No. What did
out.
he? Okay. What the insurance agrees to pay and what you agree to pay are 2 different things. What did you agree to pay to the insurance company by contract?
I'm not sure what the
Hold on,
the
listen.
contract.
Just listen. Ken, just tell me if you had a contract with them.
Yes,
Okay. On the contract, do you have it in front of you?
I do.
Okay, there must be a price on there.
There's one price on here that says let's see.
I'll tell you the worst contract you could sign if it said per insurance proceeds. That's the worst thing you can do. That's the worst thing. Because neither the roofer or the insurance company would have your back. You wouldn't know what you need or what you don't need. So I need to know if your father had a contract and how much was on the contract. Because if the guy wants another 40 grand, he may be due another 40 grand. And why do you care? If your insurance is going to pay, why do you care?
Well, that's the deal. He's arguing with the insurance now. There's an insurance agent that's they're trying to settle with them, but he keeps stalling and having the price go
Okay.
up.
Well, apparently, Ken, you have to help me out here. Okay, you really have to. You need to send me the. Where's the contract?
I did send it to you yesterday.
Okay, good. Hold on, Suzanne. Let's see if we can locate that contract. Okay. What were you going to say, Josh? You're with Sprague Roofing up in Fort Collins. What would you say about this? I mean, the same thing.
Well, it just depends on the situation. So a lot of times we'll go into a situation where we have a customer who has an insurance proceed, and they're like, "This is all we get to do this job."
Right.
When in all reality, the adjuster missed several things on.
Right.
The actual
So when the adjuster misses things, let's say it's legit.
Right.
What do you do?
We supplement the insurance company. However, before we start doing the work, we always have an agreed.
Yeah, of course you do. You wouldn't go and do 70,000 more worth of work, would you? And not.
Right.
I mean, because you want to be paid.
It to happen? Absolutely not. We always get that on the front end agreed with the insurance company before we actually do the work, so we're not ever in this situation.
But once in a while, though, you could uncover something while you're doing the work.
Oh, absolutely. Like for example, if an old house has space decking, new code.
Okay, so if that happens after you agreed to a price,
right,
it's understood if there's a hidden damage,
right,
you can put in a supplemental claim.
Right, if it's a code issue or if there's unforeseens, absolutely you can ask for that.
But Ken, we have to know if it's legit or not, so I would like to have at least some idea what the contract says. Did you find it, Suzanne, by any chance?
I'm getting my computer up now, Tom.
Okay, thanks. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Pam, what's going on with you? Thanks, Pam.
Yes, I was in the hospital and they sent me home with oxygen.
Yes.
They didn't give me a choice of what company to use.
Well, is insurance paying for it?
Yes.
That's why.
Well, part of it, I still have to pay what the insurance won't pay.
I understand, but they still have their preferences.
Yes.
So what's going on?
Apria.
Okay, and what's the problem?
Well, my doctor, I got the oxygen on the 26th.
Okay.
Of April. On the 6th of May, my doctor released me from the oxygen because Apria will not pick up the oxygen equipment without doctor's orders.
Right, because they don't want to be held liable. So your doctor said you don't need it anymore, and Apria, did your doctor notify Apria?
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've given them the fax
So
number.
are you calling because it's still at your house?
Yes.
Are you still using it?
No.
So that's the problem. But are they still billing you each day?
Well, they say they're on a monthly billing cycle, and it's coming up on the 26th. They will bill me again.
But you say you don't need it, and they don't listen.
Right.
Huh.
They're saying that they can have somebody pick it up, but I have to sign a release form saying that I take responsibility for not needing it any longer.
Well, of course. What's wrong with that?
Well, that's letting my doctor off the hook, and he's the one that's supposed to approve it.
I can't help you. I can't help you. You have to take some responsibility. I'm sorry, Pam. You're letting your doctor off the hook. I'm sorry. You have to sign a release for them. Your doctor can also sign a release, but they may not require him. Here's what they're saying. Even if your doctor says you don't need it, we want to hear from you, and they have every right to do that. So if you ever signed a release saying you don't need it, and you have some kind of a problem, you can still go back on your doctor if you have standing orders that you don't need it. Has your doctor told you you don't need it, Pam?
Yes.
In what form?
Verbally.
What? Verbally. Well, will he put it in an email? Will he put it in any kind of a... Is it in your chart?
Yeah, it's in my chart. And
well, listen, all you need... Listen, Pam, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You're at a standstill. Your doctor is not going to sign that release, probably. Your doctor is dealing with you. You have to take responsibility. It's weird, but even, like, okay... Your doctor prescribes a drug to you. The pharmacy wants to know that you know about that drug. When you sign, by the way, you're signing that you take all responsibility for taking that drug. Now, if they mess up the drug, that's different. But if it's as prescribed, you're taking responsibility. So I can't help you. I can't help people who just don't want to do things according to the way they do them. So what you do, Pam, is refuse to sign it. They're going to bill you for the oxygen, and it's going to be a battle. That's what it's going to be. And I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be that way.
This report is sponsored by Colorado.
Let's see if they got that contract.
My farm is going to Mexico, and so I'm just staying at home. I'm getting new appliances. I got insurance. They're delivering new appliances. But I'm just hanging out. I really don't have any appliances anyway. I have been places on Memorial Day, Labor Day.
Yeah, same
Everything's
here.
so busy.
Where tomatoes planting, maybe now.
Yeah. I put my tomatoes in like 3 weeks ago, but they're in also water, so they're protected.
I just haven't had time yet, so my greenhouse is ready for them.
I've already got lettuce up and spinach.
The Raleigh House is an addiction treatment facility that I highly recommend. And there's a reason for that. They have several locations. They're locally owned and operated. But this is the biggest reason. They have this community information line that you can call if you know anyone suffering from addiction. And you need information. Like, how do I talk to the addict? How do I know there's a problem? What are some of the behaviors I look for? How much does it cost? Does insurance cover it? What kind of treatment plans? What other kinds of treatment is there in the marketplace? They'll answer anything. It's not a sales job. It's an information service. The RaleighHouse.com is proud to bring this. They know they're going to get their share of clients. They want to make sure, though, that everyone with addiction or affected by addiction, that they have proper information. And by the way, you may want to check out the Raleigh House. They are wonderful. They have an equine facility, equine therapy. Have you heard about it? It's wonderful. In a country setting, they also have urban centers, 720-730-9722, theRaleighHouse.com.
Daniel, no live video on Facebook.
I know.
Okay.
What's going on, Dan?
It won't come up just like it did that other time. We got it on YouTube and stuff, but Facebook, just, I don't know if they got an issue with Facebook or what.
You know,
Hey Tom, real quick on the insurance thing. I heard you say like you shouldn't have a roofer sign on to like for the insurance proceeds. I'm just wondering what your take is on that. 'Cause it's pretty typical to
yeah, I
do
know.
that for
Here's what I say. Now listen, if a roofer says whatever insurance pays for, they don't have your best interests at heart. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying, let me tell you why. Well, let me tell you why. Let's say the roofer wants to do A, B, C, and D. A, B, C, D, E. And the insurance company walks with them and says, fuck, we're only paying for A and C. And the roofer wants the job. They say, okay, cool. How do I know? How do I know what I got and what I didn't get? But if you gave me an estimate and the insurance company says, we're not giving you those, now I know what I'm not getting. And I say, wait a minute. But I don't give a shit. Don't pay what the insurance company pays. You pay what I need. You know, you do what I need. You don't do what the insurance tells us. You do what I need. So when they say what insurance pays, I'll say, well, bullshit. I don't want what insurance pays. I want what I need. You give me that bid and let me fight with my insurance company. Yeah, but so many come in, whatever insurance pays for. Then they go up on the roof and say, okay, we don't do the shit. You don't want the flashing, we won't do it. You don't want the roof jacks, we won't do it. Because they want the job. And then these insurance companies love these roofers and recommend them. And meanwhile, people are thinking, oh, I have no problems. This roofer did everything.
That's a problem, man.
But you don't know what you're missing when you let them deal with the. What I do is say, you give me an estimate. And they say, well, let me talk to your adjuster. No. How much are you getting? None of your business. That's it. None of your business. I want to know what this roof is going to cost.
Right. And what it's going to take to deal with that.
There are honest roofers you can probably do that with, but no way, no way. There have been so many times the roofer says, I need all of this stuff, and the adjuster says you don't.
We do like full system, so everything that we do is a full system, no matter what the insurance is covering. If they're not covering the flashing, turtle vents or whatever, we include everything. That's a way we combat some of that. I hear what you're saying.
iHeartRadio station.
People trust J&H Home Solutions. Beautiful windows, siding and doors, building gutters and more. Improving homes for over 60 years. J&H, the difference is clear. J&H Home Solutions.
Hello to the K&H Sign and Save Spring Sale. You save 25% on your entire purchase of windows, doors, and siding. Plus, you get a free upgrade to triple pane glass. 303-421-7100. Better yet, book your own no-obligation home visit at khwindows.com. Get extra pane in the glass, plus 25% off your entire project. Financing available. Triple pane means savings on energy bills in the winter and through the blistering heat. khwindows.com.
Frank, what's going on?
You're back, Tom. Tom, you're up.
I didn't know it was supposed to say. I'm sorry.
You're up.
I gotta go. Hold on. Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk to Ken. What is, did we find the contract?
His daughter is emailing it to us right now,
okay, then
Tom.
hold
Couple
on,
more
Ken.
minutes.
Hold on, Ken. We won't do that. Okay, I just want to introduce Jim. And did you bring Dan with you?
I did, yeah, Dan.
Dan did the work. Okay, Jim, it was Dan's territory. How does that work? Do you guys have territories?
Yes, I do everything in the Denver metro area from Alameda North. Dan does everything from Alameda South.
Is it all Crackerjack? Is Crackerjack
all Crackerjack?
Is that a franchise?
I own the parent corporation. I started the company in 1999.
So you started, these guys bought territories from you?
Right, and Dan's a family member as well.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
So if it's Crackerjack, it was started by you?
Absolutely.
How many are there?
4.
Territories?
There are 4.
4 territories.
Right.
And are you expanding?
We are. We do currently everything from Wyoming border to Pueblo.
And what are they buying into, a system?
The system of equipment, the material we use, and the training.
Okay. So, I was told, okay, you're going to have to replace these steps. That was $10,000. The driveway was another $8,000. There was some miscellaneous, but it really was. I thought it was sunk a lot, and I just called you on a last-ditch effort. Is that a common problem that people have? They call you on a last-ditch effort, and they find out they can save money.
Absolutely, it happens all the time.
So it's a free estimate. I figured if you told me, Tom, we can't do it, there's nothing lost.
Exactly, and that's what we tell people. Start with us. We're your cheapest option. If we can't do it, we're not going to take the job. We'll tell you, sorry, you need a jackhammer and a replacement contract.
What if you had done it and the driveway cracked in half?
Then...
or started doing it and a driveway crack.
Sometimes you get little hairline cracks.
Yeah.
That's just an issue with concrete in Colorado.
Right.
If you got a major crack, we would repair it, or we wouldn't charge you.
Okay, so if you did it, and there are minor cracks, they're easily repaired, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
So, But here's the deal. How many holes did you have to make? I couldn't see them.
Right. We patch them. You had in your two-car garage about 12 holes, and in your
12 holes. Where are they? I don't see them.
Well, they're only about the size of a golf ball. They're 1.5 inches around.
And did you patch them?
Yes, we patch them with a shrink-proof grout so you don't get any water transference through the slab.
And so, is it in the middle of the concrete, or is it on the side of the concrete?
In your two-car garage, you had a 3-inch belly in the middle of it, so it's in the center as well as around the sides, so that we can fill all the void and get it stable.
Okay. So anyway, this was like you brought it back to new level. So the material is like a mud and cement and stuff. What is it made of?
It's a cementitious soil. It's concrete, sand, screen topsoil, and
but it's different than regular concrete because it mimics almost like a bedrock.
Absolutely.
And it goes in, and how far does it fill?
Just between the soil that has settled and the bottom of the concrete. And we've lifted garage floors 13, 14 inches.
Holy, really?
Yeah, we just lift 1 inch at a time and keep going back and
How
forth.
do you charge? By the volume of mud?
It's how close we can get to it, the volume of mud, and how high the lift is. So sometimes we have to charge extra if you have a huge void.
Right, but I want to let people know, when I said $1,500, that was a real price that anyone off the street would have gotten, seriously.
Right. What we see on average, Tom, is about 20% of the replacement cost. So we save people 80% of what it would cost them to buy a new one.
So that is crackerjack mudjacking, and honest to God, used them. So let's talk to Jeff. Jeff, what's going on, Jeff?
Good morning. Hey, I hired an employee this week, and unfortunately yesterday he wrecked his motorcycle, laid up in the hospital. Not on the job, on his own time type of thing.
Now, hold on. He wrecked his... He said he was not on the job, right?
No, sir. He was headed home, yeah.
Okay. So what's the question, Jeff?
Can I just say, sayonara, see you later? I know that sounds absolutely terrible.
I think you can. I'm not giving you a legal opinion, but based on all the things we've dealt with before, we got to find out for sure. I'm not... Like I said, I don't see... If somebody's injured and can't do the job... You're not required to keep them. You're not even required to keep them if it was a workers' comp deal. Did you know that? Do you know that, Jim? Do you know that, guys? Do you know that? If somebody is working for you and they're on workers' comp, you don't have to hold their job under most circumstances, I think. I mean, truly, where did you get the impression you could not fire him?
I don't have that impression. I just, he's done nothing wrong, work-wise.
But you could say this.
Really
you could say, hey, when you're ready to come back to work, come back to work. I mean, he's not expecting you, excuse me, to pay him, is he?
No, I don't think so. I don't want any trouble,
legal
outside.
Trouble.
Right.
Hey, Suzanne, is there anyone at all? I know our employment attorneys aren't around. Maybe we can call someone on this, though. I don't know. If the question is, he has a company, construction company. One of his employees on the way home gets in an accident. On his way home, on his own motorcycle. We don't have a question about workers' comp. What we have a question about is, can Tim just fire him, say, I'm sorry, you can't do the job? Listen, we're employees at will in this state. So I would say, if it was me, I wouldn't have any qualms about it. I mean, I really wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know why you think, but why don't you keep listening, and we'll see if we get some kind of questions. Meanwhile, if anyone else is listening who's been through this, let me know. Jimmy, you have a question. Go ahead, Jimmy.
My son purchased a home, which was 20 years old out in Aurora, this winter. And when I first went out there after he purchased it, I noticed that in the garage there was a hole that was drilled. It's a double-car garage, and there was a hole about 4 feet into the garage on one side, and then there's another hole about the same size on the other side where you would park the two cars. And there was water that was seeping up through the holes. And I would like to know if that is something. The holes appeared to be about 7/16 in diameter if you took a drill bit. And would you guys know if that garage has been lifted already by a mud jack company?
What do you guys think?
It may have been a foam injection company. They drill real small holes like that. The minimum size hole a traditional mud jacking company is going to drill is 1.5 inches, and there shouldn't be any water coming up because we inject at high pressure and fill all the void, so there shouldn't be any way there's water coming up under there.
But there is a possibility, though, that, like you said earlier, that there is a company that can use some kind of a foam, because the slab does have a bow to it. It's sagging. If you were to put a level across it, you'd probably get about a 1/4 inch gap in between there. And then my concern was that I don't think that he had the best of inspector to check that, because it was happening right after the inspection. So is that going to be a problem for him down the road, or?
Well, without seeing it, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, 303-410-7787, call my office. We'll send an estimator out free. We do not charge to do this. We'll send an estimator out free. We'll take a look at it and see if it's a problem, if there's anything that needs to be done to correct it.
Sure, I need, what is your number?
303-410-7787.
Okay.
Yeah, or just go crackerjackmudjacking.com. And so you guys, I say you can repair concrete, but what if it's heaving? Like, heaving is different than the sinking. The sinking, you lift it, and sometimes if it's cracked, you can lift the one part to meet the other part and repair it. But what about heaving, when something heaves?
Unfortunately, if it's heaved from roots will lift the concrete, or bentonite clay that we have a lot of.
You can't do anything to reverse it.
Unfortunately, you have to tear it out, clean the bentonite clay or the roots out, and re-pour it in that situation.
What has it ever happened where one side is heaving because the other side's sunk, and when you level it, it goes back?
Absolutely. Sometimes it will teeter-totter, and if you haven't left it that way too long, we can teeter-totter it right back into place.
But I think the message is the free estimate.
Absolutely.
All right.
We're more than happy to look at it, no charge.
Hear that call about Florida? Was that?
You got 6 minutes, Tom.
Did I hear something wrong? I didn't hear from Florida. Okay, maybe it sounds moving from Florida. No, there was a guy from Florida on the phone. Tom said he could back there tomorrow because I didn't have the answer today.
Commerce City, heavy both directions, east and westbound.
So foam, really?
It's
absolute garbage. It's two parts. It's part A and part B. Both are known to cause 3 different kinds of cancer. And they tell people it's environmentally safe and friendly. The textbook at Colorado School of Mines says do not use foam injection. It's right in their textbook because of pillars. Yeah, it's just garbage. You know, it really is, John.
Yeah, are you looking at it?
He can, you like, he's a real rookie.
That's what I need. There you go. Thank you, sir.
in your backyard.
Put you on the spot, John.
And he's the textbook author, right?
Welcome to Murdoch's.
Simply Floors Inc. That's the website. You go there and save money.
Nice.
SimplyFloorsInc.com. Buddy Mitchell's the owner. Great business philosophy. He wants his salespeople to work and win. He wants his installers to win. He wants.
Yeah, he's got an engineering report from a guy that wanted to look at concrete. The engineer told him he could look at his mud jacking specifically, put in there, do not use foam and stamp it.
Why would their whole leak go? That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. There's something else going on there. That's why I told the guy, I can't tell from here, I have to see it. But the thing that happens with foam is, instead of spreading and filling all the void, if they're getting some water infiltration, the foam will spread a little bit and pillarize, and if they're getting water infiltration, it could seep up through those holes. Because the void's not full. If the void's filled and you don't get the water penetration.
But even if that hole, after you're done, you plug it, shouldn't that be a watertight seal?
Should be.
Okay, here's what I think happened. The
guy that owned the house before him just drove a couple 716 holes to get the water out of there so that it's chill. And then the water just coming back up.
Did it, and he doesn't report to Carfax. That's
No,
right. If he
the
fixes it,
homes
it's
do. It's like hit or miss. You got that certain hours to raise our phone.
Oh, what do you see? You see a price?
Yeah, we have the price.
What is the price? Okay, just keep it. I'll ask you. I'll look at it, but I want you to refer to it since you're a roofer.
I'm trying to look for anything that says that they're gonna do it for insurance proceeds, which I don't see that
Good.
yet. but-
for everyone.
Hi, honey.
Available in endless styles and sizes.
I was wondering
and
if
no
we could do
summer is
something.
complete
I'd
without
like to
swim.
send flowers
Burlington's
to
packed
Belgium.
with pool toys and swimsuits for the
maybe
family,
just
plus
from-
just in activewear for ladies and men.
No, whatever you go to one of your jobs, well, you should come see this amazing, because, like, if it's down as far as that
she's
trim,
out running around.
you
So,
can actually just see the concrete rise up
okay,
and
then she can call and do it. And if she doesn't have my credit card, do you
Oh,
have?
no,
my-
I believe, like, say, that's right. Where do you say?
Okay, because yeah, I pay that auto pay. I also think,
Yeah, sure.
Because I made a lot of mistakes in my contract.
That knowledge sort of,
And
and then you guys are pretty good at repairing trucks too? We're not. Oh, okay. We can ask people to repair their trucks on their own. We get them level.
Gotcha. Did you say welcome or
Once in a
anything?
while, we'll call for crack for somebody, but we don't like to because that's what they complain about.
Yeah.
If the
And the
concrete starts
and the
peeling,
towels?
concrete's perfectly level, the job's stable.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
And when we're done, we're
Oh,
very
okay.
easily wash
Good,
it.
honey.
It's wet, so the caulking doesn't want to stick.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta do it later. Yeah, we try to talk them into
Okay,
doing it
good.
later on their own. That's what we
Okay,
need is a
thanks,
good crack repair.
Thank you so much.
Look on YouTube.
I'll see you.
So it does say that,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
if they were gonna deal with the insurance paperwork, and that's,
You know, hairline.
But it does have a price though, right?
It does have a price, so typically on ours, because you have to have a price when you start the contract, a lot of times, like you're saying.
But does it say we reserve the right to add or whatever?
It does say that here, it's kind of funny because it doesn't say it at the end, which we typically like to be redundant with that, so there's no confusion.
3 to 5 a day per truck.
Say, where's the price?
7 or 8.
On the very last page, on the bottom.
But we're the most efficient in the business. I mean, most of our competitors shoot 2 or 3 a day. My truck does a minimum of 6.
I don't see the price. Oh, there it is,
That's the
16.
reason. Sometimes customers call me and go, I don't want to pay this much. Right, your crew wasn't
The
there.
biggest thing for me, Tom, is that they're arguing now with the insurance company, or it seems like they are,
The crew just
after the fact.
Wait a minute.
What
It
about
doesn't
the
mean much
insurance?
over.
What about
It
the
doesn't say
$200,000? What about
The first page, top paragraph, say that they're gonna deal with insurance paperwork.
People are crazy.
And
No, no, it doesn't say anything about supplemental claims.
Not that I've seen, but I mean, it kind of says that in that
You shouldn't have
first
told us that,
paragraph.
since we gave you the price in advance. How about if you need the truck overnight and we'll charge you a little extra? I've asked people that, well, if you took an extra hour, would you be willing to pay me more? Well, no.
I don't know, yeah, I just can't decide. What's that?
1992, doing it right the first time.
Anything of that?
What are your professional affordable?
Do you even have a price?
It is. I know that legally you have to have a price.
We did the shade check today, so,
Let's say.
I know, so we're a couple weeks out. But
$10,000.
I gotta live with this, see if I like them a little shorter, if I want them a little longer.
You know, procure would go in and that's right.
Do you like them like this?
Yes, but if you have, whether you're short, wouldn't be too bad, but I'm glad she did.
Well, she did a little shorter, right, yeah.
That's up to you. I think they would be.
I just have to live with it for a little bit. We're all fine, but my mother-in-law lost her license, and they were screaming at each other last night. My in-laws were, not Mark.
I would have to take it. Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, we got some lines open. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I have the Mudjackers with me. I got the roofer with me. I have Ken with me with a roofing problem. I have lines open out the yin-yang at 303-713-8255. Or you can call 303-MARTINO 24/7 for those on the podcast and the downloads. We have like thousands and thousands and thousands of those. One of the top downloaded shows around the country. I don't know why. No, I know why. You know why? Because it's timeless. You can listen to one 6 years ago. You can listen to one today. Really, the problems are problems, and you learn. So, I got the contract. There is a price on here, Ken.
Yes.
It says $16,118. Okay, now, it says blah, 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 normal, and they'll take care of all the paperwork. And okay, so what did you see? Did you see a pretty good contract here? I'm talking to our roofer now. So, this is Josh from Sprague Roofing and Exteriors out of Fort Collins. It looked like a pretty good contract, I think, or not. What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely had some issues, or not issues, sorry. It had some verbiage in there stating that they are going to deal with the insurance company and come to an agreed cost with the insurance company. And
there's nothing wrong with that, but they did put down a price. But I didn't notice, they didn't put down scope of work, though, did they?
Not that I
don't see a scope of work.
It says, I believe in there somewhere, it says that they're going to do the scope of work in the insurance estimate.
Okay.
So what I'm...
And then they say you will have to pay a deductible. Right. What was your deductible, sir? Ken?
I believe the deductible was $1,000, and he never charged us for that.
Okay, so that's going to be part of it. But listen, man, why is your insurance company balking at this? You may have an insurance problem and not a roofing problem. Why is your insurance company balking?
Well, the reason is because he, like I say, he wants an additional $60,000-$70,000, and the insurance ain't going to pay him that. So he put a lien on the property, and he keeps charging interest every day.
When was this due here? Wait a minute. 2017? Wait a minute. How long have these people been unpaid on this?
He just done it in, I believe it
was April of 2018. It's been a year, right? They've been trying to collect for a year, right?
Yes.
Well, first of all, I don't think they can put a lien on that. When did they put the lien on there?
You know, I'm not sure when.
Is there a lien? Is there a lien on it?
I understand there is.
For sure, there's a lien on it.
Yes, from the insurance company. They had spoke with my brother, and then they do have a lien on the property.
Who has the lien? The roofer?
Yes.
Okay. You need to find out the date of the lien. It can't be beyond 4 months of when the job was completed, okay?
Okay.
Find that out and let me know. They may have filed a bogus lien. The other one I want you to do is your insurance company. Do you still have the same insurance company?
I believe so, yes.
They should pay the claim. If the work was really done, they should pay the claim. It's no skin off your back, Ken. But if they did the work, they should pay the claim. You're saying, how do I know? They won't give me a detail, right?
Yes.
Let them give your insurance company a detail. Hey, I think Deputy Dan, we should give him a... No, you know what? Hey, Nate, he's sitting on his hands. Let Nate call him. He can understand it. Let's just call it. Here's what I'd like to ask these guys. We want to help them get paid, really. Have they talked to the insurance company? I'm taking the position that I want to get the roofer paid. Can they send the insurance company documentation or something? Listen, Ken, that's the tact you should take right now. Get the insurance company paid to pay them. Unless we find out it's all bogus. But that's how we're going to find it out. We have more coming up. Colorado mudjacking, Crackerjack mudjacking in the house with us. Crackerjack mudjacking, and also Sprague Roofing and Exteriors out of Fort Collins. If you have any questions or complaints, give us a call. We're going to talk a lot about all this stuff. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Plus, we have a screaming deal coming up.
I used the Art of Granite last week. They put my countertops.
Aren't they great?
Absolutely amazing.
God, I am so lucky to have a
$4,000 less than the Granite Depot. And at the Granite Depot, I was picking one of their cheapest slabs. I picked one of the most expensive slabs he had up there. And his people were tight. My wife is so thrilled, man. I can't even hardly get her to go to sleep. Art of Granite. Yeah, they do quartz and everything. I picked out quartzite, which is a rock 25% harder than granite. It's the most beautiful piece of stone I ever saw in my life. And the manufacturing, the templates, the whole thing is just, they're really, he's right.
My buddy flips homes here in Denver, you have to give him his info. Art of Granite.
Yeah, Art of Granite, yeah. He's on Tom's referral list. That's why I used him.
You know, I just wish people really, really understood, as most of them do, that I use every single person. Sometimes I pay a little more, most of the time I actually pay less. But there are a few times, let me think, where these people are a little more. One Clear Choice Garage Doors, holy shit, the job they did, oh my God, they are, you know, I do things in such a ridiculous way that I'm a pain in the ass. These guys, I could not find anything to tell them to do. Have you ever seen those side garage doors? Listen to this. These were clackety big doors on my Uso. Sure. They tore out all the ceiling shit, and I had the sideline. It's a black high-tech box, really sleek looking. Sits on the side of the garage door, up front. All the controls are off the ceiling, everything. No brackets, nothing. Wow. Nothing. If you have a clear garage, you can put a loft up there, and then this opener opens without any straps, chains, or belts, because it's a direct drive to your damn spindle. Really? Yeah. And there's special springs on there. You press the button, it goes. And they put all new rollers on, but it's just so beautiful. That's why, and it's Wi-Fi compatible, and I have both of them done. Whenever I go into a house, I automatically have them come in. I don't even look at the garage door openers and say replace them. I automatically do the epoxy, and I automatically do the electronics and make it high tech. Those are the three things I automatically do. And this guy that sold this to me, he doesn't understand. I don't really occupy the houses. I mean, I do, but it's like I said, it's an investment. See, years ago when we got married, I said, this money I made, a whole bunch of money on this house, why am I going to put it in the bank? So I said, I'm just going to buy another house. And so I use it now, and we use it now, and then to entertain stuff, and then we use our other house for real private. Sure. So then it's sitting in a house, and it's actually making more money than any stock account or any bank account. And it's tax-free if you keep it 2 years. Right. So I did that 3 times now. So I love the houses, but they're not emotional. So these guys don't understand. He had this big garage cab. He had this shit built in that was shit. And I had it torn out. I had everything stripped out, new drywall. And he comes over and he was almost insulted. He said, I was leaving those shelves for you.
Your wife told me he was going to be mad because I was there the day after he tore them out. She said, when this guy sees this, he's going to crap. Because
all the shit he thought he was leaving for me, bam,
gone.
Oh my God, this electronic shit, all this antiquated. I mean, it's nice. They were wonderful people, really nice people. But what they thought were treasures, oh my, this TV, this freaking giant backlit TV, backlit DLP. And I gave it to one of the painting crews who wanted it.
Take it, get it out of here.
A plasma TV, just.
Do you rent these properties out or just?
No. So I use it with my kids. When I have my kids, when the kids groups I have, then our house stays pristine. Well, this house stays pristine too because we're not in it that much. But it works out perfectly because it's like an investment. Because really, I thought, what am I going to do with all this money? If I put it in the bank, I get a little tiny interest. If I do stocks, I mean, Mark makes me a lot of money, but it's not guaranteed. You know, it goes up and down and up and down. Plus, I pay tax on it.
This report is brought to you by Terra Credit Union.
And because we have a residence, I can get away with it because I have my legal residence is there. And when I sell it, it's tax free.
8 Denver teachers started a credit union 85 years ago, not for profit,
so
but for
I
the
have
people
kind of
to help pay for what's important to them. Today, that credit union is with
And,
Terra,
so
where
you saw
everyone
it's
in
a
the
nice
Denver
house.
area
It's a
can join.
beautiful house.
And being there for you is what matters.
People have asked me, Tom, where do you get BioT? They've heard me talk about BioT. BioT is really a way to optimize your home, not just testosterone. And
I don't do contingents. So I know exactly what it's going to cost to fix that house. And when they tell me Do you want an inspection? No. I just want to know what's going to cost to fix. Sure, I get inspections, but I don't care about inspections. I care about cost. Too many people, they care about inspections. I put a price on the house. It's going to be 100,000, or it's going to be 200,000, or it's going to be. So this one house I bought one time on 2 golf courses, no one would buy it. No one would buy it because the stucco was fucked up, and there were some other things. So I had a total of, I figured this was 250 to bring this house. But I had a number. So when I went in, and I said, I'll give you 1.5, no contingencies. He thought, in the gold mine, I put 250 into 1,750. I said 3.5. Because it was perfect. And that's the secret, is you go and get your estimates, not after. You get your estimates. Now you have a number. And when you say no contingencies, they think you're crazy, but you already have a number.
Right, you know what,
like this house, I knew going in. And that's extra shit.
This is our school.
But they said, you don't want an inspection. They don't know I already had it, right? I mean, I already had people look at it. Before you it's the neatest thing. I don't know why more people look at it. You first get emotionally involved, then they get an offer. Then they do the inspection. And what are you going to do? They have you over a barrel, or you have them over a barrel, and they get pissed off. We're not going to do that. You know, and I don't look at this. Why are we calling the show? So when you gave me that bid, that went into my total, you know. Sure. And the garage doors are looking for
the floors and boxes.
Right.
You didn't see that for what? That's nice. That's nice.
We put a price. You just put a price on the problems.
He said that there was 2 contracts, right?
Did he?
Daniel, am I letting Ken go? Are you going to call?
No, I got to call, but I got to switch over here.
Okay.
Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Let me tell you something. This show is brought to you by what I consider a Marvel superhero. I can't use that. I'll get a letter. I can't say Marvel superhero. I can say superhero. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Listen, I told you that I use, my guests say crackerjack, mudjacking. I really did. And that all these people on my referral list. Frank Duran has done more transactions for me than I can count. And he truly takes attention to so much detail. I think, what the hell would I do without him? You need someone when you're selling real estate or buying real estate who has your back and actually has the other person's back too. He wants it to be done right, but he always negotiates for you. 303-920-1622. You will never do better, ever. Ever. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Now, we have a lot of things in the works right now. First of all, if a guy is working for you and he's driving home from work and becomes injured and he can't work anymore as a construction worker, can you fire him? I think you can. I don't know. Guys, have you ever had that happen to you? Have you ever had a guy that couldn't work because he got injured? Now, I'm not saying you would do it, but have you ever had that happen?
Oh, absolutely. And
that's Jim Snyder with Crackerjack Mudjagger. But I think if he was going to be out for an extended time, he got in a motorcycle accident, you can fire him, right?
Absolutely. I have a small company. I need somebody there today that can do the job.
I mean, and that's not cruel. You just say, hey, man, I can't help you. You got insurance, or you got maybe workers' comp. If it happened on the job, it'd be workers' comp. What about you? Has it happened to you, Josh? Sprague Roofing and Exteriors out of Fort Collins? Ever?
Luckily, I have not had anybody fall off a roof or get in an accident, so I'm going to knock on wood there.
Do you know what I heard was the number one... the stages or the steps for success in roofing? Did you know what? The first step, do you know what it is?
I don't fall off the roof?
No, learn Spanish. Is that a joke? Boom.
Hablo español.
Hey, I'll tell you what. The best roofers, and I'm not talking, I'm not getting into legal, illegal. I'm not talking, all of the people I know have legal workers. But they work their butts off, the ones I know, for these guys. And I don't mean it to sound like those people. I just say that I want a hard worker. Now, okay, speaking of which, and this is honest to God, not a commercial, Marshall will tell you at Amazing Moves, I paid a lot of money for this move. I did not get 1 penny discount. I demand to pay normal prices. and I had Amazing Moves. I have never seen workers that hard. I wouldn't be a roofer. Oh my God, if my life depended on it. How the hell do they do it? All they're doing is like racing against time. They have giant stuff to move, and then they have pains in the ass telling them where to move it, and then changing their minds. I'm not mentioning names, but she had these guys moving stuff up and then down, then up again. And here's the other thing, with a smile on their face. But here's what's really bad. At the end of the day, they have to do it all over again tomorrow. I mean, that job is just so difficult. But I will tell you again, Amazing Moves just blew my mind with service. I like when you write checks that you smile on your face and you don't think those crooks or they're making too much money. Everyone should write a check with a smile on their face. Let's talk to Richard, he just hung up. He has said he had some information about Ken and the roofing contract. Suzanne, you have no idea what he was going to say, right?
No idea, Tom. I'm sorry.
Here's the deal. If you have a roofing contract, it's understood in the industry that if there's hidden damage or they find more damage, even with cars, they have supplemental claims. What that means is they go to your insurance company and they say, now we know that we came up with a price of $16,000 and your adjuster went along with it. However, while taking off the sheathing, we found some bad decking. We have to replace some decking. We have to replace this, replace that. What are some of the common things that come up in supplemental claims? Josh?
Most of the times, like you're saying,
decking,
having space decking, etc.
Maybe lot of times, what else?
Just code issues that weren't originally covered by the initial estimate. A lot of times there's damage that wasn't found. You know, let's say like we have a storm, a big storm in Denver or any surrounding area. They have to send out adjusters to go through these estimates, and a lot of times they're on a short time frame, so a lot of times they tend to miss things.
Tell me this: do insurance companies go over your supplemental claim? It's not just a rubber stamp, is it?
No, not by any means. It has to be agreed by the adjuster assigned to the claim.
And Ken, that's what I want. That's what we're trying to find out. If your insurance company, they have to have a reason for turning this down. And did you talk to the roofer, Dano?
No, I left a message, but we definitely, there's a second side to this.
This is what?
There's a second side to this.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk to Richard. Richard has a comment on Ken's contract with the roof. Go ahead, Richard.
Well, my comment is about the lien, Tom.
Yeah, the lien.
Like you said, if it's over 4 months, the lien's no good. But here's the other thing. If there's some discrepancy on what they want, the price or anything like that, it could be considered a spurious lien.
Yeah, if they just kind of arbitrarily come up with something. But let me ask you something about this, because you seem to have that at the tip of your tongue. We had another situation, not this one, where they did put on a lien that was BS. What would you do about it? Are you a contractor?
Well, I was. I'm a little disabled at this point.
I'm just wondering.
And they said, you need to go see your surgeon. You need to go see your surgeon.
$115,000. And that doubled our digital marketing budget for the summer. Thanks to my Spark Card, we had our best summer yet. Imagine what the Spark Card from Capital One could do for your business. What's in your wallet?
Okay, we have about 7 or 8 days left. Yes. For K&H Home Solutions Sign and Save Spring Sale. This sale is very easy to understand, and I also am going to assure you that all of the prices are their regular low prices. But if you take all of your siding and your glass and your doors, your windows, siding, and doors, and add it all up, you can take 25% off the entire project. It's a true 25% discount, but there's even more than that. Those windows will be upgraded to triple pane for no extra charge. So you're saving the 25%. You're saving on the triple pane upgrade. But there's another savings, and that will be on your energy bills. Because these triple pane glass panes that they put into their glass, they're durable, they're efficient, they're beautiful, but they will save you money. K&H Home Solutions. Make your own appointment at khwindows.com. khwindows.com or call for details at 303-421-7100.
Only 2 days left until Carpet Mill Outlet's one-day only private sale. This Saturday at Carpet Mill Outlet.
Yes, Tom Line too is all over the place. But basically, I sent you an article on the guy she's complaining about. It's the owner of an assisted living place. Now, the article is 2 years old. I told her she's going to have to be concise with you because she's all over. But I thought you at least want to get a gist of this dude. Okay. She is old, Tom. Poor little lady.
Complete with roadside assistance. All makes and models. Expert techs, 25 years in business, 2 locations, Denver and Littleton. 303.
You know, I wouldn't be able to do commercials if I didn't like the people. In fact, I won't do it. I had a big fight one time about that because this one company wanted to bring in a lot of goddamn money. Oh my God. And it's Samsung Institute of America, and they were just flat out rip-offs. That's the one downside, is because you want to be a team player and bring in money for the station, and you can't pour yourself out.
Oh, no.
And I sincerely believe that when people don't mean it, you can tell. I think you can. I think you can like when I see Henry Winkler do something for reverse one. Come on.
Yes, come on, Henry.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. There's a lot going on today. We have, mudjacking in the house. I have some email questions for them because mudjacking is very, 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 very crucial if you have any concrete problems. One Clear Choice garage door, as I told you about, they put in a garage door system that I can't even begin to rave about it. If you guys are having garage doors replaced, there's a more expensive option, a little more than the center opener, and it goes on the side, so now you don't have any belts and you don't have any chains, and you have nothing on your ceiling. It's a clear span. This thing connects directly to the garage door on the side. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen, and it's quiet and it's efficient. It's great. The thing is, they're a little more expensive than the normal thing, but you will never regret it. But then they have, of course, normal openers starting at just $3.99. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Let's keep going here. Now, Mary.
Hello?
What's happening, Mary?
Yes, hello. Who am I speaking with?
This is Tom Martino, and can I help you? You are calling about assisted living. Is that correct?
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe I'm talking to you directly.
Well, you'll get the bill. Now, Mary. Mary,
I don't want the bill.
I'm just kidding. Are you complaining about a place you live or a place someone else lives or what?
Okay, let me try to, in brief, inform you of the situation.
Okay, but if you begin by answering a few questions would help. Is this somewhere you live or someone you know lives there?
I live.
Okay, tell me about it.
There is a gentleman by the name of Christopher Butler who I recently found out that he was arrested for embezzlement, identity theft.
Is he living there?
Yes.
He lives there along. How many people live there?
There are 9 people and 9+ dogs.
And this is assisted living, and one of them, this Christopher, has a criminal record.
Well, yes and no. I need to back up. It is no longer an assisted living. It was closed down as such. Although I have.
So what is it now? What is it now? Do people still live there together?
Well, I contacted Boulder County Records, and it's my understanding that he's not supposed to have a lot of people living here.
Okay, but Mary, if you could help me out here. It was an assisted living place with about 9 people there, right?
No, I don't know how many people were here when it was an assisted living.
Okay, but now what is it? Is it like they just rent out rooms now?
Yes.
Okay, so you're living there, and so is this guy Christopher.
Right.
And what's the problem? What can we do for you?
Well, I don't know how to break it down in short terms.
Well, just say it, and I'll ask some questions. I'm pretty good at it. Go ahead, dear.
Thank you. I'm a senior person. I moved here in 2018. There were a lot of drug activities here, but I was tolerant and just really tried to love the people that were here.
Okay, so what's the problem? What prompted you to call? Is it activity from other tenants?
Well, it was in 2018.
What's going on today?
Today I've had a situation with mold and structural damage, things I believe have come upon and could continue to come upon my house. I fell in a well.
Okay, so hold on a sec. So if you had to make a list of just the problems at that home is responsible for, without a story, without any story, if I had to make a list, you would say mold?
Structural damage.
Okay, this structural damage, how does that affect you where you're living?
This is what I'm going to say. I'll just say an unhealthy environment.
Okay, gotcha. I gotcha. Now, it's unhealthy because of mold and some other stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay, what else? What else? Hold on, keep going. What else? An unhealthy environment, does it all fall under that category, dear?
Well, I don't know if falling into a well,
Well, where is this well? Where is it out in the backyard?
It's close to the house.
Is it on the house's property?
Yes.
So it's kind of negligent, you're saying. They have an open well.
It isn't open. There is actually an old wooden cover, but when it's turned into a certain position,
I got you.
Anybody or anything can fall in.
Okay,
also,
I understand.
Areas where rodents and things.
Rodents, okay. So now, what were you hoping to get accomplished? Because usually, let me just explain a few things.
Yeah.
Usually, dangerous conditions, I know this sounds crazy, but unless it's specifically covered by some kind of ordinance or law, what happens is usually they don't do anything about it until someone gets hurt and they sue and they get into all kinds of trouble. Sometimes it's very difficult to get landlords and property owners to do things. So that might be what's going on here. The landlord may not care. So Mary, the quickest solution, you don't want to hear this one, but the quickest solution is to leave and get out of there.
Of course, I have been trying. I had bed bugs because of this place.
When you complain, what do they do? Do they do anything to help fix it?
Not in a timely manner to where it hasn't actually damaged my skin to the point where I've had to have a treatment and
what municipality is this? What city or village or county? Where?
Boulder County.
Well, listen. You're in good shape there. Those Boulder, I'm serious. The Boulder Building Department and Zoning Department, they're very strict.
Yeah.
If you called them about the well and about some of the other things, they would very well come out and look at that.
They're actually doing an investigation.
Good.
A full
Good.
investigation.
Let me ask you something, Mary. Because really your story wasn't as difficult to understand as we might think. You're saying this guy's renting out to multiple people. One of them might have a criminal background. It's an unsafe...
No, he has...
Oh, the landlord. Okay.
Yes, actually...
Well, that doesn't matter. What does matter is you saying the environment is unhealthy, possible mold, possible problems with bed bugs. You're saying also there's an open well or not secured well. I think what you need to do is just cooperate with that investigation. But I have a simple question for you, and I truly mean this. What were you hoping we would say when you called us about this? Because I would never let my mom live there. I would be upset about it. But what were you hoping we would say? Because all we're going to do is contact the authorities.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what to do. If I were 20 and 30, I would stand up, of course, more strongly.
Mary, would you like us to call this guy? I mean, I don't think it will help. It sounds like he doesn't care.
I don't know what's going on, but I don't know. I'm just trying to pursue avenues.
All right, you already have Boulder. You already have Boulder looking in on it. The reason I don't think an attorney will help you, I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm giving you some practical information. If you hire an attorney, what are you going to do? You're going to sue for what? For habitability standards? Well, guess what? There's a simpler remedy for that. Leaving. You see, that's...
Well, I do understand that, and I've actually been looking for a very long time. I have chickens, and so...
Oh, so this is out in the country?
It has, well, it's unincorporated.
It must be, because you said there's 9 dogs there. Hey, Kevin, hold on. Kevin, you're calling in with a comment for Mary. What is it?
Yeah, I can help you on this, Tom. I believe this place is on Highway 66 in Longmont. The owners were...
Wait. Is it on Highway 66, Mary?
Yes.
Oh, this is great about this audience. Go ahead.
They were the owners, the people that own the building, actually own that facility. They were arrested a few years ago for embezzling a lot of those people's money. They had power of attorney.
Well, what are they doing? Okay, so why is this still going on?
They weren't supposed to. When they got arrested and all that went down, I remember reading that in the paper. That went on for a while. That they were supposed to lose their license and lose that facility.
What's the name of the facility? I'm going to have Deputy Dan look at it with the Boulder County.
Yeah, I'm a plumber. I've done service. That place is a pigsty.
What's the name of that place?
Tom, it used to be called Timberline Lodge, but now they've changed it to their address name. Like their address is the name of their
community. Timberline Lodge, and they were embezzling money from the old people there?
That's, if I remember right, they cleaned out some people's bank accounts.
Is that right, Mary? Mary?
From what my understanding is.
How long you been there, Mary?
I've been here just a little over a year.
You got to get out of there, Mary. You got to get out of there.
Tom, I'm trying.
But you may have to get rid of your chickens.
I'm trying to do that too, actually.
Okay. Are there any Chick-fil-A's around?
Hey, Tom.
I'm just kidding. Hey, Mary, are they pets, Mary?
They are, and they actually have been like therapy chickens.
Therapy chickens. Well, in Boulder, I don't doubt it.
Yeah. But the thing is the gentleman, it's really a weird thing. Like
Therapy chickens. Okay.
He will text me and copy to a counselor that lives here. He's going to come in my room at a certain time, and then he will sneak in at earlier times.
Okay.
And like yesterday, he just came in without permission.
No, I don't doubt this is a nasty guy. I don't doubt it. Can I ask you just quickly?
Yeah.
What are your pets' names? I want to know for the heck of it a name.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Really?
Beth, and Chucky.
Chucky? Oh, that's funny. Clucky Chucky.
Yeah, that was because of an elderly person that I cared for, and I didn't think that the chicken would know whether its name was a boy or a girl.
Okay. And
chickens in the background.
how many male chickens do you have?
None. I have 0.
Okay, so all hens.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I was wondering if any of them, cock-a-doodle-dooed in the morning.
No.
Okay. Well, listen, Mary, I'm serious about this, okay? We're not taking this lightly, so we are going to have Deputy Dan just check in with the authorities. Do you have a name of anyone you talked to there?
Yep. Where?
In Boulder County?
Well, yeah.
All right, hold on. Suzanne, okay, hold on. Suzanne, would you get that, please, that name from her, and then Deputy Dan will check. We got more coming up. I'll make sure I don't do it extemporaneously.
Well, even in Denver, you can have chickens, but I don't think you can have roosters. I think because of the cock-a-doodle-doo in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you can't have colonies.
You can have chickens, but no roosters?
Yeah, I forgot I had it. I love it. And,
you don't
I
have
got a
chickens?
bunch of
I grew up with chickens, but I grew up in the middle of nowhere, so we had roosters and geese and ducks.
Geese.
Yeah,
They're dirty animals.
turkeys.
Oh, they're mean animals, aren't they? Did you grow up on a farm?
Yeah, San Luis Valley.
Okay.
Who is this now?
Like almost in all this area.
I grew up on a farm in Minnesota.
Yeah. Close to Twin Cities or
Almost in North Dakota.
Yeah, it's only part of Minnesota.
This is a true testimonial about Fix-It 24/7. Okay, sir, when did you have him come? I had him come just the other day. Now, this is true. It's me. I'm talking to me. And what did they do? Well, I had one guy do light fixtures, who was wonderful. I had one guy, a plumber, he fixed the leak. I had another guy who is doing an HVAC check and install thermostat. Is that really true? And how much does that cost? Well, of course, it costs $39 to get a tech to your house, and they'll tell you exactly what the problem is, and they'll tell you what it will cost to fix it. If you have it done, they credit you that $39. And also, the HVAC check and clean and all of that to make sure you're in perfect running condition, $39. Fix it 24/7. Now, obviously, I know these guys, but you know what? They treat everyone the same. Great value, great prices, great service, and always the extra mile. I had the guy seriously sweep my garage. I didn't ask him. He just thought it needed it. What does that tell you? FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939. All true stories. All true stories.
So, Fix 24/7 had to sweep his garage because you didn't do a good enough job.
Whoa.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it was your crew that did the cleanup, so you need to talk about it.
Whoa.
I did the lift.
By the way, this is not a good house, right, because it rained. But there was a trail all the way out of the subdivision, just a small dirt trail.
We talked about
Was there something loose on your truck?
You know,
I mean, it was noticeable, but I was afraid that people were going to look at those. But it wasn't like, it wasn't a pile. It was just like, mud looking, the color.
Yeah, just
but
a
it
little
was just a following.
Yeah, I haven't had that happen before, so I'm not sure why.
Stephanie was mortified because she thought only because we thought people would save me, but then it rained.
We actually came up with a solution so it won't happen again. Basically, there's an elbow on the back that we can point straight up and leave on there.
Yeah,
So,
prevent that.
yeah.
So you schooled us, you made us better. Did you know Howard at AAA retired?
Oh, yeah. I met the guy he sold to.
Yeah, I haven't met Travis, but that's
Travis
his
is a good
nephew.
kid.
It's his nephew, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Howard's nephew?
Yeah, it's his nephew.
Oh, I know. Okay, it was a pastor's son, so it must be Howard's brother's pastor.
Yeah.
They're good people.
Yeah, he'd been working for him for about 2 years, so he knows the business.
Probably no problem.
He's old school.
He can't get into a lot of places. I mean, oh my God, every time I've ever called him in the past, he can't do it.
Yeah, the equipment he built is.
I don't know why. I said, Howard, you got to get with it, man. You got to get some small equipment.
He didn't want a shovel, so he put literally a backhoe on up on the top of the truck to lift up and dump into his mixer. His equipment's that big. I mean, it's huge.
I know. So I told him, listen, you need small equipment, and I know the expert on small equipment is Dan.
What are you saying, Tom?
But
Go see Dan.
we're not going to announce that on air, Dan. Relax.
Yeah, but he didn't even do emails.
No, he doesn't.
No,
He still doesn't.
electronics.
And that I told the new kid, don't do like him. Do that.
Yeah.
He returns your call. He has an answering machine. It's not even digital.
But at the end of the day, he goes and
They will also charge only wholesale for material, even if you buy somewhere else. They'll do it on their wholesale account. They will tear out all of this. The only thing you pay for is the fabrication and installation.
one truck. It's a one truck company.
So what truck company?
I think he was the one that called up and said, there's no way they could have done that.
Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. We have 6 trucks, 4 of them active all the time, and 2 of them are just backed up in case we have a breakdown, so we can still show up. Said we were going to. I mean, we have 4 crews out there cranking out 6 jobs per crew per day.
Oh, really? Design your own trucks now?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I'm actually building some brand new equipment. It's going to be even better because we're automating it, so there's no more shoveling. We're putting everything on screw conveyors. That ought to be online in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Okay. Okay, we have a professional, one of our experts from referralist.com to answer this question. This is Norm. Norm, how can we help you, Norm?
Hey, Tom, thanks for keeping the scumbags in line.
What's going on with you?
I have a 14-year-old daughter. I need to, she's got a summer job. She's getting a summer job. How do we go about filing for taxes? Do we file for taxes?
Good question. Really good question. Let's talk to Eric Reinemer, and he's with Atlas CPAs and Advisors. Eric, that's a good question. Okay, you got a kid and he starts working, or she starts working, 14 years old. What do you do?
Well, the first question is, Norm, how much did they make last year, or what's their wage?
Or what will they make, in other words?
Yeah. Minimum wage, just for the summer.
So what will it come to? Do you have any idea? Just better yet, Eric, why don't you tell us what it means at certain levels? Just tell us, and then he can take that.
Yeah, here's the bottom line. So because you still want them to be your dependent no matter what. So what I'd suggest always for people with kids in summers, try and, if it's under $5,000 roughly of wages, they don't have to file a tax return. So the goal is you should try and have them not have any money withheld for IRS taxes. Otherwise, you got to file a return just to get the money back. So in general, if you make less than $5,000, you do not have to file a tax return.
Okay, so if they make less than $5,000, can they put a whole bunch of dependents on there so they withhold hardly anything? Or how do you tell an employer not to withhold anything?
You just tell the employer, look, I don't want to have any money withheld, and the employer should do whatever you tell them to do.
Really? That's legal?
Yeah, absolutely. If you know you're not going to owe taxes, you do not have to have anything withheld.
Okay. Okay, now what if you're making over $5,000?
In that case, they will have to file a tax return and pay a real small amount of taxes, but they will still say on their return that they are not claiming themselves as a dependent, that their parent is, so that you, Norm, get the benefit of any other tax-related benefits of a dependent.
Excellent. Okay. Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Eric Reinemer. By the way, Eric, when it comes to filing extension, he didn't know I was going to ask. Okay. I was going to ask about extensions, but here's the bottom line from what he told me. Is he still there? Okay. Eric, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to filing extensions, if you made an installment, let's say you could not afford your tax, and on April 15th, you sent in whatever you could pay. What happens now that when you file your extension if you don't have the balance?
Then 30 days later, you'll get a letter from the IRS saying, well, is it an extension or is it it's an extension payment, right?
An extension. You made an estimated payment when you filed your extension. Now you're coming up on a deadline again.
what'll happen is when you get to where you actually file, and if you're short, and let's say you owe $5,000, you'll get a letter back saying you owe this amount of interest and penalties for being underpaid.
Okay, so what if you still can't pay? What do you do?
Then what happens is you just file the return, pay whatever you can, and 30 days later you'll get a letter back from the IRS saying, hi, you owe us X amount of money. Would you like to pay, or do you want to enter into an installment agreement? And you can actually do an installment agreement online now. If it's less than $25,000, you can just go online and establish an installment payment over a couple of years.
Okay, one quick question. The reason I'm bringing all these up now is because I said next time I get you on the show I was going to do it because I had these in email. The other one had to do with, can you ever be turned down for an installment plan?
If it's under $25,000, no, I've never seen it happen. They'd rather get the money than all they can do is if they feel like you're being a flake or if you're going to disappear, they could get heavy and say they're going to send a lien. But if it's under $25,000, I've never had it disallowed.
Okay, thank you very much, Eric Reinemer, Atlas CPAs and Advisors, 303-799-9111. Okay, so who's been holding the longest there? Okay, Jesse, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, I think you said Jesse.
Yes.
I love Chick-fil-A, by the way.
I do too. I love it. I really do love it. What's going on with you?
I'm having some trouble with Sears. Bought a warranty on a refrigerator.
You bought a warranty with it. Okay. Yeah. How long ago?
I pretty much buy it every year.
Oh, you buy the warranty, but how old is the refrigerator?
Refrigerator's 10 years old.
And have you been buying it from new?
Yeah, so it's 10 years old, and I bought it new, and I've had a warranty on it the whole time.
Okay, so what about it?
I'm 2 months into a dysfunctional refrigerator and 5 weeks into a non-functional refrigerator.
Well, why?
I've had 11 techs in that amount of time.
What do the terms say when they can't fix it?
Well, that's an interesting point. I thought it said 4 parts in a year and you get a new refrigerator if they can't fix it. But now, then they told me it's 4 times coming out with new parts, so it didn't really matter the number of parts. Now it's moved on to 4 times with open orders with parts. So I feel like they keep changing the rules on it.
Well, yeah, but you keep agreeing to them.
That's why I'm calling you, because I feel like I've agreed enough.
Can you get out of it? When was the last time you signed up?
Boy, it's probably been like 8 months or something.
So you're okay. You're not going to get a refund probably,
no,
and it's your fault. So just don't renew it again. I mean, in other words,
here's the problem. I have a fridge that doesn't work, and I've paid for the warranty. And
I understand that. Oh, I understand that, but they do have to fix it, is what you're saying.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, of course they do. I mean, but I didn't hear they were refusing to fix it.
No, they just, every week it's another thing. Like yesterday the guy didn't come because he didn't think I had the parts. Well, I have the parts, and in the system it says I have the parts. Another time the guy just no-showed and no-called, and I called Sears and I said, oh, he said he went to the service and it's all fixed. And I said, well, I've still got a non-functioning fridge, so I don't know where he went, but it wasn't here.
Okay, I'll tell you what Mark would say, and he's been successful with this.
Yeah.
You know what he'd say, Dan? Breach of contract, and he'd sue. Honest to goodness he would. He would sue, and he would sue in small claims court. And I'm not kidding you, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, we can call, and a lot of times when we call, that does it. Hey, Suzanne, don't we have someone at Sears, I thought? An angel or not?
I'll have to check with DAP. It might be for the outlet, but I'm sure we can land one regardless.
All right, here's the deal. We can have DAF put a call in about it, and usually that helps a lot, okay? But at the same time, you ought to look into small claims court. They don't have to have a physical presence here for you to do that. They do have to have some kind of a presence, but not necessarily like a branch office. And most big companies do in each state have some kind of representative.
This report is sponsored by...
So go out there where you're coming in, so you go out the door and take a right, and then you take a left, and the bathroom's on the right side after the elevators. Cool, thank you.
I lost my feed.
Oh, you did?
I went back to the login.
Yeah, let's get you around. Okay, this is very technical, K-how,
There you go. Thank you.
Okay, I got another spot coming up, guys. Pain in the ass stuff.
Did you know that most pain relieving products use menthol, which irritates the skin? I mean, pain is irritating enough, right? Blue Emu pain relief products are odor-free and irritation-free.
So you can't go and just buy it.
I haven't used these guys yet on my referral list. I always tell you when I use them. But I know people who have DenverEgressWindow.com. They specialize in those window wells. That's what we call them. They're really escape windows. That's what they're there for. But they look terrible, the way the builders put them in with that corrugated metal. Denver Egress can rebuild them to look beautiful, or they can put one in where you never had one. And they can even dig out walkout basements, honest to goodness. 720-626-4221, DenverEgressWindow.com.
So you couldn't go like just go and buy a mud jacket.
You can now from a company called HMI out in Wisconsin, but it's not. It won't do the production we do. It's just not.
It's not set up efficient.
It's not. A1 Mud Jacking here in Denver has 2 of their trucks, and if they couldn't do what my crew does in a day and a half in a full week, it's not possible.
You will never find better house cleaners ever. Excel Services. ExcelServicesNetwork.com, locally owned and operated, not a franchise, in business 25 years. They did my home. They do Suzanne and Mark's home. They do every friend I know, and they love them. You will never find better, ever, ever, ever. You can do deep cleans, single cleans, bi-weekly, monthly, no contracts. Your choice, 303-683-3470. 683-3470. I sound like, honest to God, I'm lying. I use every one of these people. Every freaking one of them.
I don't think it sounds like
every one of them.
I thought it was funny.
Excel, man, they are the best.
Yeah. I thought it was funny the other day when the guy said, I want to see your receipts.
Yeah. You're going to have to prove that to me. Well, why would I get on the radio and say that?
I do. I have your receipt. I have them all.
Absolutely.
Has a program to fit you. They can help you with that consolidation. We worked with a customer recently who called. They wanted to consolidate their bills. We were able to do that. They were saving a grand total of $1,100 a month. We showed them how to take $600 of that, apply it back towards
I had that warranty service. I called them out 3 times. They did send
Sears?
Yeah.
Sears sucks.
They did send texts. They did send parts, and after the 3rd time, my wife and I went out and picked the new furniture out, and I would never buy that warranty again.
No, I had one. What did they say? It was going to take a certain amount of time to get there, and then it was something jacked about it. I hate it. Oh, I know what it was. We don't yet have a fix for that. I said,
Send out a new one.
No, but they wouldn't give me. I said, well, what do you mean you don't yet have a fix for that? So
You got to wonder if they're compensate the techs. I think.
Well,
They go out there several times with parts. Either they're that hard to diagnose, or
And the problem is they're subcontracted. Sears doesn't do anything. They're like Home Depot. None of those people work for them. They're all subcontracted. They send them out. They have no real control over them. And so, you're kind of stuck in the middle. We just bought new appliances because I got those countertops. And my wife said, now we need new appliances to match them.
Where'd you go?
We bought them in Home Depot. And the lady said, would you like the service warranty? I said, absolutely not. I said, for $1,500 I can buy a new fridge for $2,000. No.
No, I know. It's crazy.
I don't want the warranty back.
I don't know where I go for appliances right now.
Appliance Factory?
Well, I've had them as a sponsor for a couple times, and they do have pretty damn good pricing. That's for sure.
They do.
Appliance Factory Outlet has a great pricing.
Now, Mountain High Appliance, if you want high-end stuff, they're pricey.
and a refrigerator you can't do without.
Right.
They say I got 2. Oh, you can be there in 2 days. Well, there goes your food.
Right.
Yeah, that is something.
Ours was just leaking and ruining our hardwood floor from the ice maker.
Ice maker. That's a #1.
They suck. Ice makers suck.
What kind of tube did you have? Copper, or did you have that plastic tube?
It was inside the refrigerator. It
Oh,
wasn't the
okay.
line
It wasn't the
to
line
it.
of the-
It was inside the refrigerator. They fixed it, it quit leaking. Started leaking again
You
in
know,
6 weeks.
I went into this control center, low voltage control center in this house. They had like 1 million telephone wires coming in, and all evenly on the pin blocks distributed to all the rooms and shit. And I went,
Yeah, don't need that anymore.
bam! I mean, I don't even want that shit. I left the wires and the labels, so if ever I want, like, for some reason to run a wire up there, like maybe an IR extender or something, I can do that. But I can't believe the shit we used to have.
Oh, just look what
And this is
wiring
not
for
even an old
speakers.
house.
Wiring for speakers is gone.
That's what they have too, all this bullshit wiring for speakers. He was selling that as an upgrade, I'm thinking. Hi, I'm Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK. A reverse mortgage is something you get that you don't pay back on the equity in your home. Now, if you owe money, the first draw is to pay off the loan. So here's what it is. It's a first deed of trust on your home that you don't pay back until you either move out or you die, and you will never have a deficiency. It'll keep accruing, but you will never owe more than the house is worth. Many seniors find it very, very comforting, and they use it. Some just put a line of credit on their home. ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528. Now, we have open lines, which is a good thing. We're going to the top of the hour. A lot of people don't like waiting, but you can get on in now or in a few minutes and get right up for the next hour. And our number is 303-713-TALK. I haven't given that out in a while, 713-8255. We also have 303 Martino, which rings through to the studio when we're here. And when we're not here, it goes to wherever we are, 303 Martino, 303-627-8466. So, on mudjacking, I want to get to it. Oh, guarantees. Are there any warranties?
Yes, absolutely. Anything we lift is guaranteed for 2 years, unconditional. We'll relift it absolutely free.
Oh, okay. And then, do things often sink after you lift them?
It depends on the age of the home. If it's 4 or 5 years old, the backfill hasn't done sinking, we're probably going to come back.
How long does it take a home to settle completely?
Average is 9 years. If it's 9 years or older, we typically never have to go back.
Okay. Now, is this for all construction, or is it just that builders don't tamp well enough? And tamping, by the way, is compressing the soil.
Typically, they don't compact in Colorado well because of the bentonite clay. If you over-compact it, then you get that expansion problem, and that's a way bigger problem.
So, in general, we shouldn't be concerned with minor settling.
No, it's very common. It happens to almost every house in the city.
That's what an engineer told me. Don't panic. People tend to panic when they're buying homes. They look at a home and they go, oh my God, because a door is sticking or there's a little crack or there's cracks in the corners. Now, some settling can be absolutely serious, but not all. Ben? Hi, Ben. What's happening?
Just have a question for your guest
Yes.
on mudjacking. I did have them come out last year because I had some sinking on a patio, and they said it's not bad enough to do anything now. But my question is, if it keeps sinking, can you jackhammer that out and put new concrete in, or do I have to get another company?
We do not remove and replace concrete, but if it's still sinking, have us come out and look at it again. It will be free.
Now, why would you say it's not bad enough?
If it sank 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, they still have positive drainage away from the house. Anytime you move concrete, there is a potential for a hairline crack. So it's better not to move it unless you really need to, unless there's a situation that's damaging the property.
So, really, they're not saying you'll never need jacking. They just said at that time you didn't.
That is correct, Tom.
Okay, so I would try them again, and then how much would you say it's sunk so far?
Well, it's 2 areas. I want to say the steps going outside is probably 1/2 inch. And what I shouldn't have done, is I put Trex up to the concrete instead of doing the whole decks in concrete.
No, I understand.
So I'm thinking, if it gets bad enough, to jack it out and then continue on with the Trex.
Yeah, but don't do it until you have to. Definitely have them come back out. The estimates are free. I'm Tom Martino. Man, we got a lot going on here. If you have any questions, problems, complaints, you just want to air it out, call. When you get life insurance, most people just let it sit there. If you get the special life...
Just push it on. No, okay.
This is cool.
I'll be right back. I don't know.
You guys do so.
Ladders, goddamn.
I do. I go.
You still do full foundation mats, or?
We don't. We only do flat work. We don't do any structural lifting. That's a totally different business. There are guys that do that with mud jacking. I feel like it's really well. You can do it, but it's inadequate. It's an inadequate repair for a structure. It's adequate for flat work, but you know when you're lifting a foundation or something, you can do. They call it actually pressure grouting, where you run rods down under there and blow bubbles underneath it and lift it. Almost always fails. So
It's not as precise as bearing.
yeah, you know, they've got piering companies that can come out and put piers in there. It's permanent. It's more expensive, but it's the right way to do the job. Yeah.
As opposed to mud jacking whole foundation.
Yeah, you shouldn't mud jack. Now, a slab on grade house is the exception. We do some slab on grade houses where, you know, a corner's lifted and we'll lift it back up. It's usually pretty adequate for that, but for a regular standard foundation on caissons or on footers, mud jacking's not the right repair. I've got competitors that do it, and I just shake my head and say, good luck with that.
Well, to me, like I say, if the whole house is, you do it here, I mean, or they try to do it all together?
Well, they have to drive several rods and lift a little, lift a little, lift a little, and try to get it back up. The problem is the soil beneath that structure is failing for whatever reason. And pumping more soil under there typically doesn't fix it. You need a pier that goes all the way to bedrock, and you can't do that with mud jacking. You just can't.
Hey, somebody had called in yesterday about diesel emissions.
Yeah.
I didn't hear an answer on that.
They didn't get an answer. What happened on that? He wanted to know as far as I think he dropped off. That's why we didn't, and we're going to try to get somebody. Diesel emissions is a whole, they're having new ones come out here in Colorado, correct?
Yeah, he was talking about having to rebuild the engine in his truck and not wanting to do that if his truck wasn't going to pass emissions and that.
I think he's been playing with medical marijuana too much. Usually when they pass new laws like that, they're around while they're dead.
Well, they already have that law. You have to have DEF systems on the new diesels.
Right, but if your truck's before that, you're grandfathered in for that.
I would hope so.
And what his thing was that Polis is trying to bring California's diesel emissions laws to Colorado.
Leave Polis alone.
And I don't even know, like I say, that diesel, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, they've cleaned them up quite a bit already, and you know, how much can you do?
Yeah.
How much can you? These people that are against fossil fuels are just like, you know, you could solve that entire problem nationwide very simply. Is the government pass a law for 7 days, nobody's allowed to burn any fossil fuel for any reason. Just do it for 7 days. Watch the grocery stores clear out, watch people walk to work, watch their house be cold one day in the winter, and the crybabies will be begging.
I don't even want to hear this shit. It's just, first of all, the cycle, I believe in climate change, by the way. But I do not, but humans are not doing it. That's the fucking crazy part, is the cycles have been going on for centuries, eons, and in fact, if you simply take every emission ever made from the beginning of industrialization and calculate it, you calculate the volume, fuck everything, the volume of emissions, total volume of emissions, not it comes to like the head of a pin to the ocean. That is the volume. Now, there is no way on God's green earth that volume can affect that ocean. It can't, and it's true. I mean, you can calculate the emissions. You can take the emissions and then multiply it by a number of years. And it wasn't even as much in previous years, but assume they were all the same, and you multiply it. I'm talking about sheer cubic feet of volume now. And there's no, but people never do that. They just say, oh, it sounds logical. You know, ozone went up there and is destroying shit. Ideal? Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan, and I mean ideal. Why do I say ideal? Because you get to pick the terms. You get to pick how many years you want. You get to pick whatever you need for your needs because they are direct mortgage lenders. That means they lend their own money. IdealHomeLoans.com. Started in Colorado in 2001, still here, and I know the owner personally. 303-867-7000. Listen, you can call anyone for a loan, and you may think they're all the same. They're not. So why don't you shop? Why don't you ask specific questions about cost, about compensation for their officers, about what loans are best for you and how they differ from other people? Ask questions, and you'll choose IdealHomeLoans.com. 303-867-7000.
Does this work okay, Josh? Did you get it?
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I watched a documentary the other day on the wiping out of the Neanderthals, and they said it was because of extreme climate change. And I was asking myself, I wonder how many fossil fuel cars they were driving.
No, I'm serious.
Really? I mean,
But do you know I've never heard one scientist ever talk about volume? Because there is something to be said about volume. There is. I mean, because there's no substance in nature that can take on that much volume and affect it. Nothing. There's not a poison, there's not anything in the world that could make that impact with that volume. Just volume. No chemical makeup, nothing. It doesn't matter. And I don't know why anyone hasn't done it. But then they think, oh, you're a nut, you don't believe in climate change. Well, I absolutely do. That change is absolutely happening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we see it.
But here's another thing. Do you know that ice has more volume than water, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then tell me how ice melts and raises oceans.
Exactly.
No, ice is on Antarctica and Greenland.
I understand that, but they talk about the fucking icebergs as well. And when an iceberg melts, it lowers the volume. Because everyone thinks everything's the same. I know, they're talking about the shedding of ice into the ocean.
But the Arctic has, right.
And that is happening, but it's not happening because of us.
Well, when I was in science class, they said the way they made the fjords was the icebergs expanded and they contracted and they expanded and that's been going on for 2 billion years. This is not.
Oh, I love how they explain. You want to talk about extreme climate change? I love how they explain bison found with green vegetation in their mouths. Okay, frozen, quick frozen. You know what they fucking tell you? That glaciers overtook them. I'd like to see that. It's moving 3 inches a year. No,
yeah.
So it fucking was quick frozen. To me, that says catastrophic climate change.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, guess what? That was before any industrialization.
Right.
So I don't understand why we believe. Now, I believe we need to be good stewards of the environment.
Absolutely.
Of course we do. But you can't blame us for everything either. And people love blaming shit on everybody.
Well, they want to push everything further. Colorado outlawed burning coal in our power plants. Okay, so let's burn natural gas. It's cleaner. Now the bastards aren't happy. They want to shut the natural gas down. It's like, okay, let's shut them all off for a week and see what happens. You will change your mind.
How does Ortiz, whatever her name is, ORC, whatever she is, how can she say no fossil fuels or gases? How can she say that? What do we live on? What do we live on?
Yeah. What is every industrial economy in the world?
And then even if you say solar, if solar handled 100% of energy, what do you do for plastic? What do you do for plastic? If you took out everything in this room that came from petroleum, do you know what?
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK is our number, and you can get right through right now, and I promise you, if you get in, I will take your call within 5 minutes. That's my challenge. You want to bet? And in fact, if I don't, you get lunch on me. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Suzanne will start the timer. And when you call, I take your call within 5 minutes. I have Rose on the line. She wants to talk about Adams County Jail. Our guest today, crackerjackmudjacking.com. I like putting that on there. They do they do concrete repair. When I say mud jagging, people don't know what that means. You know, what is it? It's concrete repair. Yeah, if you have a crack and one side's sinking and they can lift it and repair it, or sometimes the whole thing's sinking, they lift it and repair it. If you're in doubt, here's what I did. Just called and said, "Can you do anything, Jim?" "Yeah, we can." $1,500. That was after getting a quote of about 18 grand to redo it all. So it's just one of those things that I think is you shouldn't even think about. You get an estimate, and then if they can't do it, you go somewhere else and get a repair. You go on the referral list, find someone. Hey, Josh is visiting from the referral list. He's a roofer up in Colorado, up in Fort Collins, Sprague Roofing and Exteriors. Let's talk to Rose. Rose, so what's going on with Adams County Jail?
So I got a call the day before yesterday from my son's dad. I haven't really talked to him in a while, and he was kind of pleading for help, and I asked him, like, what's wrong? He was crying, and he was like, I've never been in this situation before, and I'm like,
where is he?
What's going on?
Is he in jail?
Adams County. Yeah, he's in Adams County.
Why?
He's in there on a parole violation.
Oh, so what was his first offense? Was he a felon?
Yeah, it's a domestic violence felony.
From you?
No, from a previous
my God, my goodness. So when did you have a relationship? After that affair, after that domestic violence event, or before?
After. We grew up together.
Did you ever have any domestic violence problems with him?
No, I'm the mother of his child. We have a 2-year-old son named after him.
No, I understand. But usually when things, you know, when they have a habit, I mean, they don't just do it. They don't just do it. You know, it's usually part of their personality. But I want to ask something, Rose. So you're calling, he's still, obviously, you got a good relationship with him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said.
Are you still, are you still together?
No.
Okay. How long you been separated?
We've been separated actually since 2017.
Okay, so he called just to say, I'm in jail. Did he want you to help?
He calls regularly to check on the boys.
Okay.
And he, like I said, it's been a little bit, and I knew something was wrong because I haven't heard from him in about a week, and then that's when he called me crying.
Okay,
we're good friends.
Okay, so what's he calling about?
So he called me and told me that he got into an altercation with an inmate and was transferred to medical. And then when he got to medical, he was assaulted by the police officer. He has 2 black eyes. He was strapped to a medical chair, completely naked, and was left there and was asking. He had back surgery in 2014.
Why? First of all, now listen, obviously we're not there. We don't know what happened. And I do know I know guards and police officers can overreact. They can. I mean, and a lot of times, they work their asses off and they get pissed and they say, but I do also know, I think this should be taught in school. I swear to God. We should be taught in school how to interact with police officers and law enforcement. I'll tell you why. Yes. So many people, they innocently do stuff. For example, I saw a kid get pulled over one time. He was following his mom home, and it was just a night, just nothing. And I saw him get pulled over, and I saw her pull up in front. So I hung way back because I knew them both. And she jumps out of the car and starts running toward the officer. She was saying, oh, officer, he's my son. I mean, she's just like this gregarious, nice woman, starts running. They tackle her. Like and handcuffed. No, because they don't know, and she was doing nothing wrong. Okay, everyone knows that, and they don't know that though. And then the kid gets mad, right? So he says, "Hey, that's my mom." No, it's only my mom. And then they tackle him. So now you have both of them face first in the dirt, and then they get up and they're really upset. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And then they get him for resisting. I swear to God, these guys who are just really good people end up with all kinds of charges. Why? They just don't understand. They just don't understand. I mean, how many times have people, when they get pulled over, they hop out of their car, all of a sudden guns are pointing at their head. And here's and I'm going to get to your problem, I promise. But what I want to tell people is with police officers, even though it may seem exaggerated and it may seem silly, or you may think they are weird, like, you got to do what they say. Like, I had a thing where someone I was helping, I pulled over, and so I was helping a motorist, a van, and the Inglewood police came and said, I got this. And I said, okay, but I was arranging to pay for her tow because they were from Pueblo and they were out of money. They were going to Children's Hospital, and I'd like to have the car fixed. I got a repair shop right down the street, and he said, get lost. And he was really pissed at me. Now I'm thinking, why do you have to do that, dude? And I said, but I just want to help. He says, I will arrest you right now. I'm thinking, okay, forget it. I leave. Now, he just wants to get the situation under control and get people out of there. Now, with in jail, multiply that by 100. If you don't do exactly what they say, exactly the moment they say it, they're going to tackle you. And I can see this guy, even without hearing his story, he gets in an altercation. He's all pissed off or hyped. I can see where things like this happen and where he was attacked. I can see it. But it doesn't always mean what it sounds like. Now, I'm not saying they have a free reign, but let's face it, he's in jail. Now, you say he was strapped to a gurney naked. For how long? How long was he strapped? Do you know, Rose?
Sure.
How long? An hour?
I have no idea.
Okay, what does he want, I guess? What was he injured by then?
So he was. The reason why is because he, like I said, he messed up his back. Well, he started getting chest pain, and he told him, he was like, I cannot breathe. I need to go in.
Well, there have been people who died from police custody. I mean, that's no secret. I mean, but how did it all end up?
He's still in medical. He called me this morning, and he's still in medical, has still not been medically treated. And it's only, he says, I don't have a problem with the day staff. The day staff is amazing. He said, they come in and they check on me. He goes, but once it's the nighttime, he says, they treat me like I'm complete garbage.
What is wrong with him right now that he's in medical? What's wrong with him?
Chest pain. Chest pain.
Okay,
he's literally been there for 2 days.
Well, they are observing him, though, right?
He said the day staff will check on him, but the sergeant will not approve for him to be medically transported.
How old is he?
He's 31.
Okay.
And he was in the Army.
I am sure, listen, I'm sure they're observing him, but what do you want to get done here? What's going on?
My whole perspective is him not being medically treated, and then the comments that this nurse, and it's specifically one nurse, told him he is actually going through a custody battle, and turns around and tells him, that's why you lost your son, because you're a piece of shit.
I got it. Okay, listen, hold on a sec. I should have saw that coming. She said piece of garbage, but she didn't use the word garbage. Poo-poo. And so, Rose, I can't, I got to wait for my delay to pull up again. I have like 20 seconds to kill that. So anyway, those people listening online can be treated to the whole deal.
It's hard to believe a nurse would say that.
No, here's the... well, no, I can actually see it, but I'm saying who cares? I mean, really. I mean, people have opinions. They're human. They don't become superhuman. I guess what I need to know, Rose, there's probably not much we can do. Now, there have been cases where people have been beaten terribly, and they can take action. It sounds to me like, we don't know, but is everyone just pissed off at this guy? You should make a formal complaint, though, or have him do it. You can follow it up. I don't want you to hang up. I want to find out what you would like us to do, really. I mean that. And then, Kate, you really need to hang on the line with Craigslist responses. Are you there, Kate? Kate?
You took her within 5 minutes. I was counting.
What are you advertising right now?
It's just like a china hutch and a curio cabinet.
I would love to know about some of your responses because I want to add them to a list and warn people. So hang on a sec, please.
This report is sponsored by Colorado Department of Transportation.
There's a couple of highway...
So he put his truck in Craigslist, so my jack truck goes over, and if he's had people call and say, I'm interested in buying that, of course but I need a Carfax on it. So basically they sell them a Carfax, and then they never call back. So it took them one time to learn that they were there calling at this, which it wasn't Carfax,
especially if you can't talk to them
like Carfax.
They just want to convert by
My God. So they got to buy a report, so they would buy the truck from us, and then never contact them back after about the report. So they just do it to get you to purchase the report. So they can never right on down the line selling reports, acting like they want.
Okay.
It's expensive.
So, I've told you a litany of people that I use. Fix It 24/7. I use them for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Right now, I've used their HVAC people for a clean and check and for installing thermostats. I also have their electrical guy hung some light fixtures. And what I love is you call them, you say, this is what I need. They give you a price. Boom. And they come to your house, give you a price. You approve it or don't. It's that easy. And really, they have great value. They always do extra. If you need them for home services, how about taking it from Annette, who says, I've had the most unbelievable customer service ever with Fix It 24/7, especially when it came to my elderly mom and her home and the care they took. You're going to experience that level of care at great value with Fix It 24/7. That's fixmyhome.com, 720-526-3939.
Roller coaster stock markets make you nervous? With such frequent ups and downs, don't let market volatility derail your retirement. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, Saturday on 6:30 KNOW. If you're concerned about the markets, call today to schedule a complimentary review of your portfolio. Call 720-488-604.
5 different people trying to get me to ID.
Okay, yeah.
Or online, yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
David Salisbury is an attorney at law who specializes in wills, trusts, probate, estate law, estate planning, whatever you need to do when someone dies, or planning for someone to die, or planning for your future. It's inevitable law. It's stuff you need to take care of. David Salisbury's done all of my work. He's done some trusts and some wills. He is very affordable. Wills can start out at like $500 or $600. He has flat rates on everything. That's the important thing. So you don't have to worry about phone calls and nickel and dime here and there, or he meets with someone about you. So what you do is you call David Salisbury and say, hey, this is what I need. Free consultations. And he will give you a quote up front, flat fee to get it done. 720-493-3911. 720-493-3911. The name, you can look for him at referrals.com. David Salisbury, S-A-L-S-B-U-R-Y. So that's interesting. So they wanted that report. Was it that company, you think, calling you to get that report?
It absolutely was. I've had it happen 5 times now. Those are the only calls I've gotten from Craig. And the first one got me. He got me for $29. He said, man, I looked at a truck just like yours out in Aurora. When I got there, it's a piece of crap. It's leaking oil. It's torn up.
What report does he say?
Well, he said, do you have a fax report? I said, he's texting me. I said, no, I don't have a fax report. He said, well, my brother-in-law's a car dealer. And he says if you go online here, you can get a fax report, and it's cheaper than Carfax. So I thought, well, hell, I'll give the guy a car report. So I go on, $29. They did send me a legitimate car report. Never heard from the guy again.
But the car report, was it in depth?
It's like a Carfax. Yeah, it gives you 2 pages of, no wrecks. No. I mean, so I got a legitimate report, but now I've had...
How do you know it was a scam?
The guy never talked to me again.
But you had 4 others.
4 more
with
of them.
the same link?
Different links, different reports.
That's just their way of
That's
selling.
their way of getting their report sold, yeah. So you $29.95, you buy the report, and you get the report, but you get, there's nobody interested in buying a car there. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I felt good about spending the $39 just to learn, how slick they were, for $29.95.
And there's no doubt in your mind this was a compliment.
Absolutely none. I've had it happen 4 more times. And the last guy had his niece email me and say, hey, my uncle's interested in your truck, but is there a direct email he can email you? Because she didn't want to go through Craigslist's email. So I gave her my direct email, and then he starts emailing me, and sure enough, 2, 3 emails, hey, buy this car report, and then I'll come look at it.
Hi, Tom Martino, you're a troubleshooter. Kate, I'm going to go back to Rose in a second. Tell me about this Craigslist. You're advertising, and getting responses. And what are you advertising?
It's just like a
Right.
an oak china hut
Furniture.
and another curio cabinet.
Okay,
Yeah,
so what are the
furniture.
responses that you
Well,
find
I just
curious?
posted it this morning, and I got 2 responses right away. One of them is like, "Hello, how are you doing? God bless you. Is it still available?" And it's like both of them have like an excuse. Like this one is like, "I can't come pick him up in person. My work schedule, blah blah blah." The other one, his wife's having a baby.
But it all boils down to this. All boils down to this. I will pay you extra, but I need shipping, or I need my friend to look at it, or I need something, and you're going to give money to someone.
Well, they said they'll you send me a cashier's check and add $50 to hold it. So the first one I responded before I called you, I said, well, because I have a P.O. box up here in the mountains. I said, well, send the cashier's check to the P.O. box, and once I get the cash, I'll let you know where it is and when it's available to pick up.
What did they say?
He wanted my phone number. And then the second one, she wanted my full name.
Did they say they were going to send you a cashier's check for more?
Yeah, for $50 more.
Okay.
Both of them.
And what did they want you to do with the 50?
They just said for holding it.
Okay. So what else? Usually, Kate, they want something back.
Yeah.
So what else? What were the other responses?
Well, I just feel I only had the 2, and I just felt like.
What was the other one? What did they say on the other one?
His wife's having a baby, or his girlfriend's having a baby, and he can't get to it. But he said he'll include the $50 for moving. Well, I'm not going to pay a mover to move it anywhere.
Well, usually this is what happens. The overage is paid back to them in some form. Either you send it to a shipper, that's phony, or somebody stops by the house and picks up the 50 and says, I'll be back for it. That's what they usually do. The extra, it's always the extra. Listen, here's how I tell people never to get ripped off ever, ever, ever on Craigslist. And here's what it is. You imagine an invisible curtain between you and them.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that passes from them to you, you take. But if anything other than the product itself is required to go back through that curtain, it's a no deal, no matter what it is.
Right.
No matter what it is. I don't care what it is. If it's information, if it's nothing, ever, ever, ever.
Am I required? I don't need to give them my phone number, do I?
Of course not. You don't have to give them anything.
Yeah.
In fact, cashier's checks are the worst form of payment you can have.
I know.
They used to be the most secure. They used to be the most secure. No longer. In fact, I can't believe that just in a recent real estate closing, they insist on cashier's checks. And I said, do you understand, wait, that a personal check is safer for you? Because you can actually have a bad check enforced by law enforcement, or you have my routing number and my account number, and you can go in and draft my account without my permission. People don't understand that. If you use a check, anyone can take that account number, anyone, and take money out of your account without permission. Absolutely, positively. So, you know, Kate, you're doing the right thing. The way I would accept payment is cash or a wire to my account that is verified, or one of these cash transfer apps. That's the only way I would do it.
Well, do you think if I have them send something to my P.O. box up here in the mountains and take it to my bank and wait 10 days for it to clear?
10 days doesn't clear it. Here's the fallacy. People say, wait 10 days, then take the extra money and send it to me, or give me the product. But a check can take up to 21 days. However, if they took a check and altered the routing number, it can go into what's called a dead file, because the computers get confused, so it's put in for research, it's called. That can take 6 months. I'm telling you that bad checks can surface 6 months. Checks are no longer viable ever. Ever,
so what
ever,
kind of payment?
ever.
Just cash?
You either cash, or you can do an ACH, a transfer with some app or to your bank account. A real, honest-to-God transfer that is verified.
That doesn't give them my bank account information, does it?
Well, of course it does, yes. But what you have to, that's another thing. You have to make an account just for that with no money in it.
Oh, okay.
So
I
make accounts, put $10 or $100, and that's it. They get nothing else. Now, if they won't do it, then screw them. And after they make the wire, I transfer the money immediately out of it.
Well, I just thought it was odd that both of these kind of sound similar, and they added the $50, and it was just a red flag.
There's so many scams on Craigslist. I don't know how people do business on there. I just don't know how they do it. It's become a haven. Jose.
Hey, Tom.
You have a comment.
Yeah, just be careful because some things can be a big scam, some things legit. We sell cars, and if we can't pick up something we buy for more than 48 hours, we may pay them 50 or 100 extra for storage. But if anybody ever says 500 and then you keep it, or then you have to give to somebody else, that's a scam. But $50, that's maybe, why would they go through that much trouble?
No. If the seller wants an extra 50 to hold it for me, and I make that deal. But
that's different.
But that's okay for me. If the seller says, "Look, if I keep this, you can't pick it up until next week. Can you pay me an extra 50?" I don't mind doing that. I mean, of course, as long as you verify everything else. But whenever the buyer wants to pay more, there is never
that's wrong.
Never a good reason.
For storage fee.
Yeah, never a good reason for a buyer to want to pay you more, ever. I don't care what they say. Never, ever, 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 ever. Jacob, you have a comment on Craigslist. I should call it Scams List. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this similar thing happened to me about 5-6 years ago. This was before everyone knew about the scams. They were buying something from me, and they wanted me to ship it, and they said, "Oh, well, what's your address? I'll ship you the check, the cashier's check or whatever." And I gave it to them. I got a cashier's check in the mail, and they said, "Well, go deposit it in the bank, whatever." I went to the bank. The bank told me not that it wasn't real, but they couldn't cash it, and they wouldn't give me a reason as to why.
Oh, really? They said they couldn't cash it. I've never heard that before.
And they wouldn't tell me why they couldn't either. Like it was some big old secret. I was like, really? Well, is it fake or what's going on? And they would not tell me.
By the way, when people say they can't believe you wouldn't take a cashier's check, I mean it. Now, there are some exceptions, but they're so few I don't even like mentioning them because I don't want to give people false hope. But for example, if I meet the guy at his bank and he presents me a cashier's check, and I can go to the counter and I can have that cashed and reissued as a bank check to me. A bank check means it's paid for, the bank is issuing it to me. I would do it right there. But then why bother? If you're already at his place, his bank, why not take cash? Of course, some people don't want cash because it's too much. I understand that too. 303-713-TALK. Jim, were you going to say something? Oh, I thought you were going to say something about this. And really, it's just plain common sense. So, Jose, if I were, I'm not Jose, I'm sorry. If I were her, I would not even use Craigslist. But then people say, well, what do I use? I like eBay. But if you have to ship stuff, like furniture, it's probably not practical. Suzanne, I know what you can do for good furniture, and I hope Kate's listening. There's a place I don't even like giving the name. I don't. You know why? Because I love it, and I don't want to see it overrun. And the pricing, the way they price things, they give a price, and after a month it goes down, and after a month it goes down, and you kind of gamble. You're looking at the other person, they're looking at you, who has their eye on it, you never know. And you can get it at a rock-bottom price if you wait 3 months, but somebody else might buy it the second month. It's a great system, and they buy stuff from you. If you have stuff they want, I have a truckload that they are coming to pick up. They come and they pick it up. I think you pay a small fee. They take it to their store, and they consign it. I mean, and then they write you a check. I said, I hesitate to give that name, but I'm going to. Joy's Consignment. One of the best. Now, if you're shopping for stuff, don't go there until I'm done. No, I'm serious. No, it's unbelievable. I mean, we've purchased some brand name stuff, like designer stuff. You would never believe the freaking prices. And it's not all like old, used, and broken down. We're talking about sometimes it's show homes, designer homes that they empty out to sell.
This is
Now I gave away my favorite place. It's going to suck.
You talked yourself into that one, Tom.
Where they at?
On Happy Canyon, right at the corner of Camden and Happy Canyon, in that
Yeah,
plaza.
I've been there. Yeah, I've been there. Right there. Yeah.
Mostly women shop there that I've seen.
Yeah.
But, you know, my wife took me there, and
That's how I got there.
some of the shit we bought, oh my God, I mean, you can see they're selling it for like $6,000, and you're picking it up for $1,200. I mean,
And electronics retailer Best Buy reporting a better than expected quarter with profits rising as growing online sales of appliances and electronics offset flat sales in its stores. Shares are falling today as trade tensions.
man, this weather has been so sucky.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough to get anything done.
Is the weekend supposed to be nice? You know, 68, think about that. We're saying 68 is going to be nice. I mean, where's the warm weather?
Well, he's from Cleveland, so this is balmy. Normal.
Cloudy skies, yeah.
Cleveland, Chicago, yeah. But really, I don't really remember it being this dreary in spring.
No,
Till
this
May.
isn't a Colorado.
It's May 23rd. Yeah. Now, I do remember one blizzard, June 22nd. It was only in the last 3 years. So maybe, I forget when, maybe.
Me since '94, Canada.
No, before 94. But it was in June, and it was a big one. A blizzard. At least
Global warming.
in Parker it was. I don't think it was as bad in the city.
We had that big storm in September that really was bad.
Of 80.
No, this was in the '90s. But I mean, it just.
Remember the blizzard of the 80s that got Mayor McNichol out of
Out of the office, right? Wasn't that over Christmas?
Yeah, it was a Christmas blizzard. Yeah.
Christmas blizzard. I remember we left the office early.
3.5 feet of snow.
We left Channel 4 early, and I couldn't get home. I had to stop at my photographer's or one of the reporters. We all carpooled, and we were stuck there for the weekend, literally, and we did live reports from there, from the house. We were able to feed the signal, and it was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, well, it took a long time to clear everything out, right? I mean, that's why it really put them under. We ran against them.
I mean, we couldn't believe how deep it was. I mean, and the drifts covered cars, and we didn't have hardly anything in there. He was like a bachelor, and I did the cooking. I scrounged shit around his kitchen to make stuff. You never plan on it, huh?
In June?
No, this was Christmas of '82, was it? Or '81?
But no, people talk about that. I wasn't here.
Was it Christmas of '81 or '82?
82, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, it was a mess. I couldn't get home. I got about a mile from my house. And
I saw a woman. She was going down the center median, literally just driving blindly through it, and signs were going boom, boom, boom. She's just with a Suburban, like boom.
She was hitting the signs?
Yeah, whatever was in her way in the median.
She wanted to stop.
She wanted to get home.
I don't even know if she saw them. I know she heard them because they were made a hellacious noise. But I don't even. She was on the median. And what's weird is it was like you could tell it wasn't a road because you had. I think it was Parker. Was it Parker Road at the time? 2 lane. There was. I forget what road it was but it looked comical almost. Then I love these. I love these where you have a big hill, right? And the car at the top goes like this. Next one. They keep doing it. It's like they're watching everyone spin out and crash.
Each other
They're up there to take their. Now it's my turn. I'm wondering why wouldn't you turn around? You just saw 3 cars wipe out. I swear to God, I saw this and I could not believe it. Why would people do that? And we were filming it it was when we were out on weather patrol for Channel 4. You know, everyone was out on storm watch. But it wasn't that blizzard, but it was a really icy storm. And you think, wow.
Someone ought to get a clue here.
And God damn it, and it's inevitable. You see these cars go by, these Jeeps and 4-wheels at 65 miles an hour. And you're going like this. And I'm wondering, why don't they spin out? They're going so fast. Man, all they have to do is just try to stop. Have you ever seen people racing like that through?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're going down the highway, 55 miles an hour, snow everywhere, and they just blow by you, and you're thinking, okay, I'll see you in about a half an hour here as I get up
I had a
there.
guy, I was on Colorado Boulevard going north, and this guy, his whole car was filled with snow except for a porthole. and I'm in my car, and he's doing this. Boom. And I'm going, beep, beep. And he goes, boom. And then about the third time, okay, he hits me and says, fuck this. And I just do this. And he comes to a stop. I says, dude, did you feel that? You know, I mean, look at my car. It was so sick.
3 times.
I don't know what he was thinking. Was he thinking maybe he's hitting the curb or something? It was very light. We were going slow. I mean, it wasn't like boom, boom. We were going really slow and go boom. Because there was not a lot of damage to my car at all, which is because we're both going the same speed, but I feel plummeting. It's amazing.
And we call sheep dumb animals.
Do your trucks handle well, Dad?
What's that?
The trucks, they handle well in weather because they're heavy?
If it's snowing or icy, I don't allow my crew to leave the yard.
Do you mix on site, or is it?
Yeah, we mix on site. Yeah.
So do you have all the elements there and then just mix the water too?
No, we use the water tap.
Do you have enough to you? I mean, so you don't require 1,000.
We don't require thousands of gallons of water in this. You know, your job, we probably use 120 gallons of water.
So the cement is there, or is it concrete? Is it cement or concrete?
It's Portland cement, and it's in bags.
It's powdered.
It's bagged and powdered, yeah.
And you mix it to the sand.
Yeah, we mix it to the sand.
And then the water.
Right.
Hi, Tom Martino, 303-713-TOM, 713-8255. Okay, so Tim wants to comment on exchanging money, you know, safe ways of doing it. It's really becoming increasingly difficult with technology. Tim, what do you think?
The easiest way I've done it is using Facebook Messenger money. So on the Messenger app, you can send any person that is on Messenger money, person to person, via either credit card or debit card to that person's credit card or debit card, no fees associated.
Really?
There's
And wait a
also
minute,
Venmo.
and then they can't withdraw it?
No.
Facebook Messenger, who'd have thunk?
And then there's Venmo too, Tom. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, Venmo is...
Well, you can transfer from Apple to Apple phone too. You know, I can send you money.
Here's the thing
Apple
I
Pay.
have concern with, Tim, on any transfer, is that first, you can verify the funds, and then second, they can't withdraw. That's the part that bothers me. See, with credit
So it's
cards...
immediate, though.
But no, it's immediate, but they can... But some electronic methods of payment have a way to lasso it back. They can simply say it was in error or fraudulent, and then you're out the money. That's what people can do. Go ahead.
If you really want to protect yourself, you can open up a free checking account with Ent or with any federal credit union.
That's right.
And then just use that alone.
That's exactly
for those
right.
purchases, and then go take the cash out via ATM, put it into your other.
No, you're
bank,
right. I've
you're
said
good to
that
go.
before. You transfer ACH to a special account. Now, I also like these one-ups credit cards. Do you know what they are? So your credit card issuer issues you a credit card number, an expiration date, and a code just for one transaction or for one day, and then you use it, and then you know you'll never use that again. So if someone even hacks it, they hack an expired card. It's a great option, a great option. John, I'm Tom. What's happening?
This is John?
Yes, John.
Yeah, I was just kind of wanted your opinion on annuities, but real quick about your furniture store that you talked about. I'm in Colorado Springs. There's one here as well. I don't think they do the progressively lower payments, but it's Platt Furniture, but everything else you were talking about, they do the same thing.
Consignment, right? Yeah, Joy's Consignment. I love them. And so it's always good to look for those places, and you can get some really incredible deals. So what about annuities? Let me tell you about annuities. Annuities, here's my opinion of them. They are contracts. And if you like the way the contract looks and reads, they're cool. Here's the problem, though. Most people don't understand because they purposely structure them in a confusing manner, meaning that you have so many little limits, and then hooks and crazy stuff. But what I like to do with annuities first is talk about recovery. Now, this is very important. Listen carefully.
Okay.
Total money in versus total money out, and then the time frame. For example, if you have a payment period over a certain amount of time or a lump sum, that would be your payment in. So let's say you have a payment period of 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is. You have a total money in. And when the total money in, let's say, is $300,000, and then you want to know the total money out, how long does it take? Many of those, they look great because you're getting, they say, X amount of interest, right? And that X amount of interest translates to like a great payment every month. But what about that monthly payment if you don't live long enough to recover it? For example, I looked at one, Mark and I were analyzing it, and this one paid a phenomenal amount of interest. So I think it was $100,000. And they said you get I forget what it was, so many, 600, 700 a week or whatever it was. It turned out it was going to take just to get the principal back 20 years. So really, even though they say you have a great return, it's 20 years just to get back what you put in. So if what you put in takes a long time to get back, never. You need something liquid. And then you start looking at the other stuff. So the first question is, how liquid is it? How liquid is it? The second one is, if you did nothing, does it extinguish and go away? If you did nothing, like you no longer keep up with payments, contributions, or whatever, or can you get out of it? So you want to look at liquidity and then exit, because you never want to lose. And every contract is different. Some have a fixed amount. Then they have this, then they have that, and you have to know, like you have a limit of what you can make, but you can never lose. It's just, they're written in a very, very difficult way.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of finding, and it's, you seem to need to be an expert to figure it out.
You do, but and they do that on purpose because all the good features, sometimes those bad features outweigh them. Like if you had a good feature of all the money, but you can never get it back unless you live to be 120, what good is it? So listen, man, the basic thing is this. You have to ask your question, for the first question, why do you want an annuity? What was in your mind? Is it rate of return?
Well, no, not necessarily. It's I'm 62 and my wife's going to be 59 in July, and our financial guy is talking about taking, the bond portion of our investments, or a good part of it, and put it in an annuity to get a better rate of return and a guaranteed income stream when we get.
Okay, but ask yourself, how much will you be putting into it?
Either 100,000 or 150,000.
Okay, let's say 150. Now, what's the rate of return going to be?
5%.
Is it guaranteed?
Yes.
So far, so good. Is it compounded?
That I don't know.
Okay, you got to find that out. Then next is, how much can you take out?
We can take out up to 10% a year without penalty.
Okay. And then in addition, that's in addition to disbursements. When does it kick in? When does the income kicker kick in?
It's either 7 or 10 years. We'll be able to choose.
So you have to lay it out, and you have to ask yourself. It's all a contract. It's not a tricky. Okay, I'm going to make 5%. Lay it out how much you're going to have, and I can get up to 10%. Okay, is that 10% of principal, 10% of earnings, or 10% of total? Then you have to figure out how long would it take getting my monthly payments in 5 years and 10% every year? How long would it take to get my money back? If it extends your lifespan, why bother?
Right. Yeah, after the initial time period elapses, then there's no penalty for withdrawal, if I understand correctly.
Okay.
For the principal.
Then people who are really comfortable with their age and their income, you are literally parking that money.
Mm-hmm.
So really, you take the contracts and you compare them, and that's all we can tell you. If you have any specifics, John, any specific annuity, and you send it to us, we will have our experts look at it who have absolutely no dog in the fight and nothing to sell.
This report is sponsored by Whispering Pines, Southeast Aurora's best kept secret for new homes.
drive across town, got a crash on eastbound C470 now, approaching Quebec, back up to the University. Troubles on the Tech Center Drive, crash being cleared in the right lane, northbound I-25, approaching 225. A stall in the backups at Arapahoe there, backups all the way to Dry Creek. Watch out for stall downtown, southbound I-25 at 6th Avenue, blocking the right lane. And
You can't get there from here.
Where?
Anywhere. Sounds like.
What is it doing out there? Light rain?
Just mist.
Just bullshit.
Yeah, just foggy mist. It's supposed to rain hard later today.
Domestic.
Yeah.
And next week it's going to
Short.
The grand opening of the Outlook Community Center and Whispering Pines, Southeast Aurora, the best kept secret home, starting in the 400s. Tour the models and register to win a getaway to Devil's Thumb Ranch. Stop by Saturday, June 1st from 10 to 3. Go.
Buy and Build is closing, but the owner and all the inventory and great stuff will go to Buy and Build Kitchen and Bath, and they're starting to do installations. I bought cabinets there. They were there today. I promise you. I use the referrals. They were there today, and you know what? I'm getting cabinets that are better than any kitchen cabinets for my garage. Not because I'm rich and stupid. It's because I get them cheaper than garage cabinets at Home Depot. The cabinets cost me, honest to God, $2,000. You can get them for $2,000. I got a boatload of cabinets for $2,000 that are beautiful, 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 and they can be in any kitchen anywhere, and all people. I'm putting them in my garage. $2,000. And they do installation, delivery, 303-295-6022. Buy and Build. Now it's Buy and Build Kitchen and Bath. They're at 4800 Washington Street only for a little while longer. Go and find out more. Just call them 303-295-6022.
You approach retirement. What if you could easily pay off your mortgage and access tax-free cash without repaying a loan?
Where's our new location going to be?
I had that.
So they're just expanding and changing their name?
They're not
narrowing their focus and changing their name.
Okay.
So kitchen and bath mainly, but yeah, mainly.
Gotcha.
And also, what else? What else? Where their new address? I don't remember it. I have it somewhere. Do you remember?
I can't remember.
Do we have it on our list? We should really have it.
Hey, Jim, this guy's asking about how much would it cost to level 9x9. I know it depends on different things.
Oh, it depends on the void.
Yeah, the void, how easy it is to.
Tell him a guess would be $400 to $600, and would be happy to come by and give him an exact quote for free. Dan said 5 to 7.
Okay, I'm doing a spot. All right, now Avenue Dental. Avenue Dental. Suzanne, tell me, you give the testimony this time because people are thinking we're full of crap. We have so many great people. You went to her today. Mark went to her. Yeah. Suzanne is having some minor cosmetic stuff done, and she looks beautiful. It's unbelievable the difference it makes. And it's, you know, that's what cosmetic dentistry is made for, those minor adjustments that will make it perfect. Obviously, you don't go there with a full mouth restoration, but you can do implants with them. You can do a mouth makeover. You can do whitening. You can do veneers. Listen to this new patient thing. $59. You get an exam, x-rays, and a dental cleaning for $59. Now, you may say, I have insurance that covers that. If that is the case, you get free whitening with your insurance covered exam, or just pay $59 for your exam, x-rays, and cleaning. It's Avenue Dental, 2 locations, husband and wife team. They have one down in Monument and one in the Tech Center. AvenueDentalStudio.com.
Five to 7. His name is Robert Francis O'Rourke, and it's a shit.
Who's that?
His name is Robert Francis O'Rourke.
46.
Oh,
I have no idea.
You know what that is, Tom?
What's that, sir?
This sign, his name is Robert Francis O'Rourke.
No, what is he saying?
No, it just says that sign up there. I think it's been up there for a while.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think they had a guest or something. Or
Is that a staple in here?
What is that crazy congresswoman's name? I always forget her name. Ortiz?
No.
I don't know her name. Ortega? What is it?
No.
ACO is what I call her.
What is it?
ACO.
That's what she goes
Yeah,
by.
that's whatever.
AOC, right?
Or Cortez or something.
You know,
They're giving her way too much publicity for being a freshman.
She's going to run for president someday.
Yeah.
it amazes me that she can get elected with her radical ideas. I mean,
But you look where she's from, New York City.
Yeah, but, okay.
She promised the world.
They'd be the first ones to bitch.
Guess
Oh,
what?
my.
You know what Pelosi said about her? Not about her. She says a glass of water could have won that district.
oh,
Nancy Pelosi, who was a Democrat, said that.
oh,
You mean a Democrat glass of water?
Yes. Yes.
wow. Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Okay. We're talking about home improvements. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, Mark Szymanski. The reason I'm going over this, we hear about home complaints all the time. GenesisTotalExteriors.com for kitchens, baths. They do siding, windows, gutters, painting, fences, decks, inside and out. Genesis, like the first book of the Bible, GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509. Let's go to the phones. And Robert, what is happening? You say somebody is not paying you. What's going on?
Oh, hey there.
Who's not paying you, Robert?
So, yeah, they found me on Craigslist. There was a company called BCI National out of Salt Lake City, Utah.
What do they do?
And they, well, they're a commercial tenant finish contractor and like a GC. And their client is Xfinity. They found me. They were in a bind. They needed drywallers, metal frames.
What did you do for, how much work, how much do they owe you?
$22,000.
Okay, how'd you let it get up that far?
I mean, it happened really fast. They were like, we need somebody tomorrow, and I just...
All right, so you just assumed they were legit. Put a lien on the place, man.
It's too late. It's been 6 months.
Did they string you along?
Yeah.
Okay, you can still do a lawsuit. I mean, really, you can't. I mean, this is a lot of money, bro. I mean, what do they tell you?
Just every week, it's, you know, we're supposed to get the wire transfer today. We'll pay you when Comcast pays. We're having a meeting, you know, and then it's just, I mean, they'd have to be really evil to string me along so well, you know, but it's always a decent excuse. But, I mean, it's been going on since February.
Okay. Okay, can you give us a name and number? We'll give it a college try. Dano, let's just try it. But we do have good collection attorneys. I'm serious for that much money. You got to do it. They can add collection expenses on top of their fees. On top of what you're owed. Did you know that?
I hope so, and it's not just me; it's my subs. I mean, they're hurting.
How many? Like you're owed $22,000. Do you know any other contractors owed money by these guys?
I don't know as far as I had no contact with other
And BCI National out of Salt Lake City, who did you say they're sub to?
They worked for Xfinity, so I did the Southwest Plaza.
Xfinity, have you ever called them?
I don't know who to call. I mean, I found like a corporate board general email.
We'll get him some advice, Tom.
Yeah,
we got connections.
We got some people that'll chew them up and spit them out. You know that? And Robert, they get to add collection. That's the good thing about collecting. So, hold on.
Junk loans. I mean,
are you ready to take the next step? That's why you called us. Are you ready to take the next step?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Okay. Now, Tom, what's going on, Tom?
Hey, Tom. Pleasure to talk to you.
What's going on with you?
I live in a neighborhood really close to a shopette and a bunch of stores strung together, and every night for about the past week, on multiple occasions, their alarm goes off. They have a burglar alarm, and I don't believe it's tied into the police department. It is extremely loud.
And it's sounding at night?
Oh, yeah. All the way up until 5, 6 in the morning. And, I mean, it randomly goes off. And
So there are strict noise ordinances in most cities.
I've called the cops the police multiple times during the week. I think they're trying, but after a week, it's still going off. I'm logging when this occurs and when I'm
What's the name of the shopette?
Barclay Square. It's
Suzanne,
about 36 in Wadsworth.
do me a favor. Let's get him back on tomorrow. General Grant, can you pass that on? Hold on. We want to work on this. Bill, if we can talk to you tomorrow, it would be better. We're out of time. Don't forget crackerjackmudjacking.com and Sprague Roofing and Exteriors. I'm Tom Martino. Save all your problems for me.
There's nothing like meeting face-to-face, and there's nothing like Zoom.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us, sir. We appreciate you.
Next time, don't talk so damn much, Dan.
It's hard to shut this guy up.
Yeah, I know. I can tell. Okay, so.
Every time, Josh? Yeah, man. That was awesome.